it's Lizzie. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I know a lot of you will be watching this after it is streamed, so make sure to click the bell button next to the subscribe button. That way you will get notifications every time I upload a new video. I want to make sure, okay, cool. I have my computer over there to make sure the quality is good because one time I didn't have the Wi-Fi connected and it was horrible quality. So I'm glad everything is working. Can you guys hear me as well? Make sure also to thumbs up the video. That really helps my place in the algorithm because it's always a struggle. I'm so excited for this video. I have it kind of outlined and scripted. I've been wanting to make this video for a long time, so I thought it'd be cool to do it live so I can get your guys' perspectives too. What's poppin'? Like the video, everyone. I'm finally here. Hi, XX Girlworth. Hi, Harley. Hi, The World is Beautiful 9. You're always here. Hi, Alexander. Hi, Mariah. Hi, Anna. Hi, Sarah. I finally made the live stream. It's so cool. Let me know if for any of you it's your first time doing the live stream. Also, what time is it where you are and which country or state do you live in? I think it's so interesting knowing where everyone is from. Are you at your parents' house? No. I am at my Airbnb where I've been living for a month. And oh my gosh, guys, I was so sad. So I just broke my light that I use for editing, and I have two different lights that I use. But I was so sad because I saw it gradually crashing to the ground and I was like, no. So I have to order a new light on Amazon. Why is your name Lizzie's Answers? Because I answer people's questions. I actually, if you guys have been following me for like a decade, you would know this. I don't know if anyone, let me know how, when you guys found my channel, and if you're watching this after the stream, comment below when you found my channel. I'm so curious. But back in the day, when I was in high school, I really liked Yahoo Answers, and I would spend my time, not all my time, but some of my time replying to people's questions on Yahoo Answers. Let me know if you guys are also millennials and remember this. So then I started my YouTube channel because I wanted to answer people's questions because I loved giving advice, and I was giving advice and being therapy to my friends at the time as well. So people would send me so many questions and I created Lizzie's Answers. I had another YouTube channel first and people were sending me questions there. So then I created Lizzie's Answers. So I used to also use Yahoo Answers. Oh my gosh, like setting it back. Found it today and I subscribed. I found your channel really early this year and now I'm obsessed. LOL, same. I also liked Yahoo Answers. Oh my gosh, I'm so shook. I'm in Quebec and it's 11:12. Hey Lizzie, it's 11:12 in Toronto. I generally don't try to convert everyone. I'm gonna talk about that, but if they disagree with me in a theological debate, I just leave it be. There would be no point on carrying on. Well, I completely disagree with you, and I hope this video changes your mind. I'm not a millennial, I'm too old. That's sad. I love being a millennial. I feel like so much of my identity is wrapped up in millennial. So I have my video script over here. Number one mistake, and this could be 10 different videos, is stuck in debating Bible verses all about the Bible when it should all be about the teaching magisterium and proving the church. So when I say that, a lot of Protestants are cringing internally and saying, I was right, Catholics don't focus on the Bible, Catholics hate the Bible, Catholics don't go by the Bible. Wrong. The issue is interpretation. As long as the person you're debating is going by sola scriptura, you are going to be debating in circles and circles and circles. You're never going to have a decent discussion because I've made almost 100 videos debating Bible verses, doing apologetics, proving how the Catholic faith, we can see all these dogmas clearly in the Bible. But those videos are not going to convince my family, not going to convince my friends, because people grew up in a church where they were taught to interpret the Bible in one way, or they converted into a Protestant church that interpreted the Bible in one way, and so they're seeing their entire perspective is this one way of interpreting the Bible. And no matter what you do, no matter what you say, it's gonna be really rare for them to be able to fully see from your perspective. And so I think that And with some of the Marian dogmas too, I think it's, people get the most sensitive about Marian dogmas, but with a lot of the Marian dogmas, some of them aren't as explicit in the Bible because Mary's role in the church happened in the book of Acts, and following that in the early church, like in the first generation of the church, which isn't totally in the Bible. And then her role as an intercessor was not only praying when the church began to form, but after that when she was assumed up into heaven. So the Marian dogmas especially are not like explicit in the Bible, although they are, it seems explicit to me. But as long as you are just debating Bible verses and debating Bible verses and debating interpretation, it will get nowhere. So what you have to do is focus on the church and focus on debating sola scriptura. So you need to explain that the church created the Bible, that the Bible as the canon didn't exist for about 300 years, that they would use bits of scripture to read at mass when the Christians were gathering together, but they didn't have the Bible for hundreds of years, and they had church without the Bible. And so tradition wrote the Bible, the church wrote the Bible, and there are two Bible verses that I point to where Paul refers to the oral tradition, the words spoken, obeying the words spoken, his audible teaching. He references that, and that's kind of like a hint into the apostolic tradition, which is the oral tradition, which went along with, from the very beginning of the church, went along with the sacred scripture. But it's kind of like this giant chasm where if they are stuck in sola scriptura and cannot see the church interpreting the Bible rather than someone interpreting the Bible or the majority of people interpreting the Bible, there's going to be this huge chasm. And so I've just gotten into circle debates, particularly with my family, and they've literally gone nowhere because I can point to, even I use Protestant type arguments, right? I'll quote the Greek, I'll quote Hebrew etymology, I'll be sharing the culture at the time using like the skills I learned at my Protestant university, the historical critical method of interpreting the Bible. I use all those skills, but to no avail. And so it's really important to just explain to people the church. Number 2 is getting sensitive. Okay, I'm gonna read your comments and then I'm gonna go into number 2. Today I had a born again say, you don't have to be baptized to enter heaven. She said she's bipolar. What are people saying? When will you be at your parents' house? I don't want to tell you. Do you know where I live? That's a weird question. They don't even have the whole Bible. Exactly. OMG, you look so pretty. One question, do you ever get hyper-religiosity? Yes, my entire college experience. I'm kind of manic right now if you didn't know. So my entire college experience, when I didn't know I was bipolar and wasn't medicated, I was hypomanic for a lot of college. And I was hyper religious. I would spend hours reading my Bible, hours praying. I felt God so strongly. Ironically, I'm not a charismatic person. I don't claim to hear God's voice. That was never part of my hyper religiosity. I wasn't gonna like pull a Joseph Smith and start a new religion. But Joseph Smith is bipolar, by the way. I made a video about it. What do you think about mixed marriages? What does that mean with Protestants and Catholics? Father Mike Schmitz made a really good video about it. I recommend to watch. People, okay, I'm trying to go up to your comments. Hello from India. Hi. Hello from California. You pretty do a lot of live streams. Do you play Roblox? What is that? I met a girl recently I really like that likes to cut herself. That's so sad. Oh my gosh, so many of my subscribers do that too. Like I get so many messages of people who have done that and who have had like suicidal thoughts, and it's so sad. Like I literally cry and I go into depression sometimes reading messages. Like I have to take breaks from going through my DMs and reading things because so many people are hurting so strong. I love all of you so much. If you know anyone in depression, definitely ask them if they're having suicidal thoughts or if they're cutting, because so many people do and so many people take their lives. So always assume if someone is in depression that they are having those suicidal thoughts, and the best way to save someone's life is to talk about it out loud with them. So I love you all so much. I know Mental Health Awareness Day was recently, And self-harm is a difficult thing to explain. We're all God's children. Yeah, God loves all of you so much. If everyone realized how much God loved us, we would never treat ourselves like that. We would never not feed ourselves. Yeah, I wish everyone could feel and experience how strongly God loves us and how valuable each of us are. Regardless of how anyone treats you, you are so valuable. You have intrinsic worth. And I love you guys so much. Does God love non-Christians? Absolutely. So I promise we'll get into the main video again, but something really beautiful. So I read this book by Saint Teresa of Avila called The Interior Castle, and she describes the soul, and there's like 7 different layers of the soul, and in the very middle of the castle is God, and in every single person there's this like blaring light shining so strongly, and it's God living in every person. And some people had closed their eyes or they're covering their ears. They're not even entering the castle. They're so distracted by the world. They're on the outside of the castle so that they're blocking themselves from experiencing God. But every single moment, you would not be able to exist if God was not like shining within you, giving you spiritual power, because we are not just physical bodies, we are souls and bodies together. And for your soul to continue to exist every single moment, God is infusing you with power. That is how loved you are. I hope this encourages you. That made me so sad reading that comment. You're such a beautiful person. Lizzie, how old are you? I am 25 years old. I had a difficult time accepting the Marian dogmas. Now someone says Mary was a mere woman and I get into full-out debate. Can't wait for your book. I've had a lot of issues with my publishing company. I'm actually wanting to sue my publishing company. So if that happens, it's gonna all be public information and I'll tell you guys the whole story of everything that happened. But basically they bribed me, if that makes sense, and they're not giving me my manuscript. So I stopped talking to them because I was being... Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about this or I'm gonna just like spit the whole story out all at once. But it's a really sticky situation and it's the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my career and will probably ever happen. And having to keep it secret, the whole story of what happened, has been really hard because I share everything with you guys and it was planning to come out at the very beginning of this year. So it kind of ruined this year. It completely changed it. I was promised a book tour, all these things. It didn't happen. So it was a really hard time earlier in the year when this happened. And every time I remember it, I like get emotional again and I don't want to think about it, but that is something that I need to focus on and I need to work for and I need to fight for my manuscript. But it's so easy to just not want to talk to anyone who has treated you badly. So let's stop talking about this because I signed an NDO. I don't think I did. Non-disclosure agreement, an NDA. I signed a very weak NDA and they're probably gonna make me sign a strong NDA to get my manuscript back, and I don't want to be kept quiet. That's not who I am. I share everything on my YouTube channel. So hopefully no one from the publishing company is watching this. Okay, I'm gonna go back and read more of your comments. I missed so many of them. Okay. I'm from Brazil, Mr. W69, and it's 014. I don't even know what that means. 014, we don't use time like that in the US. Someone translate for me. I'm Gen Z, the world is beautiful 9. Gen Z, it's crazy because I'm one of the like youngest millennials. I think like 2 or 3 years after me, it's the cutoff. But Gen Z, I cannot relate to at all. There's so many cultural things where they're just so different from us. Sola Scriptura is not biblical. Yeah. Cami says, enough about that. I can go on for days when I'm manic about the Bible, but please just step back and answer other questions. Michael P says, I feel like a problem is if when trying to convert someone, they get so mad, it ruins it for the person, I think. Yes, if they get too emotional. So number 2 of this video is to not get sensitive. So most people, when debating you, if they're Protestant, if they really, really care about the faith, especially if they know you on a personal level, especially if you converted out of their church, they're going to be really, really, really emotional talking about their perspective, and they're going to get offended when you share things. Like, I just uploaded my video on relics today, and we honor bone fragments and blood, and we put them in reliquaries, and we put them on the altar. We literally have bone fragments on the cloth or on the altar when we're celebrating Mass. And so people are like, you're worshiping bones, you're worshiping blood, you're worshiping Mary, you're worshiping the Pope. People get very, very highly emotional about all of this. And so what's most important is to tone down the debate and to not get sensitive, to not get offended. I've had best friends straight up say, you're worshiping Mary, you're worshiping idols, you're worshiping statues, and I just deal with it because I used to think the same way, and it's not someone's fault if they think like that. It's just the culture they grew up in and stigma they've heard throughout their life. It's not coming from a negative or a mean place, they're just repeating what they've heard. And I think for a lot of people, they don't even have enough information to get out of that perspective. And so it's really important to stay calm, stay cool, don't get heated, don't get offended. I have a really funny story. So one of my friends who just became Catholic, her name is also Liz, and she made someone cry in her RCIA because she was just venting about all her problems with Mary, even though she was becoming Catholic already. She obviously had all this stigma, baggage left over from all the things she thought about Mary growing up. And so she's sharing this in her RCIA, and someone starts crying because they love Mary so much. And a lot of people would argue and say that's really sweet that she cares about Mary that much and that she's offended because she's talking about her mom. But I kind of think this, I've said this about God a lot, and I'll say this about anyone else in heaven. That person is strong enough to handle criticism. God especially, you can think about if they're offending Mary, then they're also offending God because Mary is God's mom. But any negative attack on the faith, God is so powerful and he's able to handle it. And anyone else in heaven right now, they're like the strongest version of themselves. They're constantly in God's presence. They're so strong. They're not going to get hurt and affected by things happening on earth. And so you don't need to be super sensitive about any saints or super sensitive about anything they're saying. And if someone's getting heated and then you're getting heated, it's just not going to go anywhere. And I think the most important thing is that people remember how you made them feel. They don't remember what you say. Sometimes they'll remember what you say. But if you're someone who goes about it in a really calm, gentle, patient way, St. Paul in 1 Corinthians 13, he just is defining what love is. Love is patient, love is kind, be gentle, be humble. If you come across in a way like that, they're going to remember that part of your personality, and that's the only thing that's going to keep them open and maybe make them want to know more about the faith in the future. I'm going to read your comments before going into number 3. My Harley says, my Pentecostal coworker said if I drink beer, I might as well do meth, and ever since I've avoided talking about religion with her. Which is why the Catholics, Mary is the mother of God, the Son though, yes. I think, and the Son is God. God, yeah, we have proper Christology in this chat, I assume so. I think that some Catholics have a hard time staying calm and can be condescending. Exactly. So number 2 is to not be condescending, come across as humble. Okay, I'm going to read more of your comments. Protestants think Catholics are all Mary and saint worshipers, whereas Catholics believe Protestants hate Mary. Oh, so we also have stigma that Protestants hate Mary. I wouldn't say Protestants hate Mary. I would just say that Protestants don't really focus on Mary. And maybe I think it's like sort of a misogynistic thing, like not intentionally, but a tiny bit, where because she's a woman, people don't focus enough on her. I've never heard a sermon on Mary. I've never had a Bible class on Mary, and I grew up in church my entire life. So it's not that they don't value her. During Christmas, for sure, they focus on her, they sing about her, there's statues of her under the tree. But other than that, yeah. Okay, we have a super chat. Zana John, thank you so much for donating to my channel. Your guys' money donating to my channel is helping me afford psychiatrist appointments, and It's gonna help me afford this $15, this exact money is gonna replace my light bulb that I just broke so that I can continue filming videos. So thank you guys so much for donating to my channel and helping me be able to focus full-time on YouTube, because it takes on average 40 hours to edit a video. Like the relics video I just uploaded, that took me over 100 hours to produce because of all the research, such intense research that went into it. Filming, video editing, adding in all the text and music, all that takes so long. So that's why I want YouTube to remain my full-time job. Gabby says, how do you keep the spirit on Christmas without getting too caught up in presents and other non-Christian things? So I focus on getting presents for my parents, getting presents for my family, because growing up, my parents put so much effort in getting presents for me and my sister. I have one sister, and so now that I'm getting older and make my own money, I think it's so fun thinking about presents to get for everyone in my family. And I even like prank people with presents sometimes. So I got everyone cleaning supplies for Christmas this past year, and I also would I would do like co-presents where I would say something for like my dad and my sister, and I would have them like open up the present together, and it would be like two of the same thing. So I kind of make games out of it. And so focusing on making other people really, really happy. And then I tend to be really bad at presents. So lately I've been trying so hard to get better at presents. So I'm actually gonna make a YouTube video this year because I wrote a video script last year on present ideas. So I'm gonna make that in December, maybe like end of November, I'll make that video. So in a month of present ideas. So focus on other people and making them happy. Oh, how to debunk Protestant talking points when they're at the door. I don't mess with that. What I do, so there's this Mormon church next to where my parents live. My parents actually just moved, but where they used to live. And they came to the door once and they're like, do you know Jesus is Lord or something? And I say, yes, I am a Christian. And I looked at them like that, and then they just left voluntarily, so. There is this guy in my Greek class in college. He'd been in the military for a few years, and he was a grad student, so he was older than me. But he said where he used to live, he was actually on like the X list for the Mormon church because he converted 3 different Mormon missionary groups out of Mormonism because he like invited them into his house and discussed with them. But I feel like most people don't have a proper understanding of Mormonism or Jehovah's Witness to be able to properly debate them. Like, I don't even know enough about Mormonism to debate them. I know enough about church history to refute their premise that the church went astray in like the 1st century, which I believe is what they think. And I read some of the Book of Mormon, but I'm not able to debate that. So number 3 is related to this. Never admitting that you are wrong, trying to act like you know everything, trying to explain things that you can't explain, and not being humble. So like I said with number 2, where you shouldn't be sensitive, you shouldn't get mad, but you should be patient and loving and gentle, it's very, very similar where if you come across in a way that is humble, that will stand out so much. And it's a testament to your Christianity, to your Catholic Christianity, how strong God is working in you if you are able to remain humble. So what I mean by this is that people suddenly expect you to be the perfect apologetics person, to know everything, to be able to debate the faith perfectly once you convert in. And right now I'm realizing that maybe it was good that I waited to tell people I was becoming Catholic, because I was able to do even more thorough research and I was able to debate the faith better. So maybe that was a positive thing to hide it from people for so long. But my point is that people suddenly expect you to know everything, and there were some things, and I would hate admitting this to a lot of people, but this is just facts. I was not able to defend every dogma of the faith when I was entering into the church. So some of the Marian dogmas, I did not know any arguments for. I didn't understand I understood the dogmas, but I didn't have arguments for them when I was becoming Catholic. So when I vowed in front of my church that I accept all Catholic teaching, I didn't know how to defend all Catholic teaching. And that is okay, because like with number 1, where you have to defend the church and explain that the church is the buttress of faith, like the Bible says in Romans. I believe the church is the buttress and something of truth. So once you believe that the church is truth and not the Bible, but the church, and the church includes the Bible, once you trust the teaching magisterium of the church, you don't need to understand everything perfectly. You don't constantly have to prove every dogma. You could just say, I trust the church magisterium. I've looked at all these Bible verses. I've looked at all this early church evidence. I trust the church. And so because of that, I didn't know how to defend every Marian dogma. Currently, I'm like finishing up researching all the Marian dogmas. I'm doing my video on the Immaculate Conception really soon. I've been researching Mary being sinless. But I didn't know how to defend that until really, really recently. And so it's perfectly fine to be like, if you're debating someone and they want more evidence for the Pope, or more evidence for the Marian dogmas, or more evidence for relics, or more evidence for bishops, whatever it is, and you're not able to defend it, you don't have all these quotes on hand, church father quotes on hand, you're not able to be like, Ignatius 8090, the Catholic Church, Ignatius 8090, real presence. You're not able to quote everything. You can say, you know what? I made the decision to become Catholic because I saw that the Bible didn't exist for 300 years and that the church tradition wrote the Bible. And I believe in that church, and I believe that the Catholic Church and the Orthodox Church go back to the original church, that you could look at the dogmas from that period and that they are the real presence, they are the monarchical bishops, they are the essence of Catholic doctrine, including the Marian dogmas. And so because of that, I trust the church. And I'm not able to perfectly debate and perfectly explain every single dogma. You can tell someone that. You can say, I don't know how to debate that. I trust the church because of all the research that I've done, but I don't know how to debate that, but I'll get back to you. You could say, hey, I'm not able to perfectly explain that right now, but could I send you an article? Could I send you a Bishop Barron video? Could I send you a Father Mike Schmitz video? Could I send you a Catholic Answers article? Could I send you a LizziesAnswers video? So you could say, hey, can I send you something? Can I send you something from the Summa? And you can get back to them later. You can explain it to them later. But admitting in the middle of the conversation that you don't know how to defend something, that is the most beautiful thing, because it's so humble and people will see that in you and it will look really good. And I know a lot of people think that that's something you don't want to do because you want to appear like you know everything, but it's better to be humble. Like I said, I read The Interior Castle last month, and Teresa constantly is like, humility, humility, grow humility, best virtue, most important thing. And so be humble and pray about being humble when you're sharing the faith. If you're just like, you're wrong, this is why you're right, you're a heretic, that's not gonna convert anyone. Okay, we have another super chat from Michelle Alta. Thank you for the donation. Not understanding Mary misses the true feminine. Yes, misses the feminine nature of the church. I think a lot of people see Catholicism and they see the church fathers are all guys and the bishops are all men and the popes have always been men, and they see that there's not the feminine energy in the church and too much masculine energy. But because of Mary, because of all the female saints, because of the female doctors of the church, there totally is that female energy in Catholicism. Smooth, just dropping your links in the suggestions. But yeah, I totally want you guys to use my videos as resources because YouTube is my full-time job. So I'm able to spend like hours and hours and hours researching minute things, and you guys have actual jobs and you're actually working and contributing to the world. I'm not contributing to the world. I'm just doing entertainment or education, you know what I mean? You guys have like real jobs. So it's totally fine to be quoting someone else or to be sending someone a video. So many Catholics, Ryan says, just scream, you're wrong, and are so obstinate. Stephen says, ooh, talking about the Amazon Synod, this is getting controversial. I'm excited for possibly allowing priests to marry. It's time for the West to follow the Eastern Catholics in this regard. So let me know if I'm wrong on this, but someone was saying that in the Orthodox Church or in the Eastern Catholic Church, the priests do not have sex with their wives the day they're consecrating the Eucharist. and that it's fine because they mostly have mass on just Sunday and not daily mass. Is that true? I don't know if that's true or not, but if that's the case, then they might have less sex, never have sex in their marriage if the priest is doing daily mass. But I personally love, I should make a whole video on this, but I love not having married priests because the priest gets to dedicate his entire life to the church and be a father figure to the church. Like, I feel so loved and so special that the priest is not focused on children, but he's focused on me and everyone else in the parish. And it's like, we're the family. Like, at my parish, we have our Bible study in the reliquary? No, in the, what's the name of the house where the priest lives? The name of the house. Anyways, the place where the priest lives, in literally my priest's dining room, we have my church's Bible study. And if he had family, it'd be like helping the kids get to sleep and stuff. But we're able to have Bible study at night and to eat dinner and hang out with our priest. And we wouldn't be able to just be in his home all the time if rectory, okay, that's why reliquary, it sounds the same. Rectory is the place where the priest lives. So someone is saying, if the tradition of priest marriage is over, I'm leaving the church and becoming Anglican? What? In the Eastern Catholic Church, they have married priests. Right now, there are married priests, loads of married priests in Catholicism. I actually know someone in Nashville, because my boyfriend lives in Nashville. I have some friends here. I'm not in Nashville right now, I'm in LA, but my boyfriend's in Nashville and I was texting him just now, so I'm confused. But my friend in Nashville was telling me that he's a friend who's becoming a Byzantine priest, who's American. He didn't like grow up in some other country that is Eastern Catholicism. So priests are able to marry. Oh, this guy who's becoming a Byzantine priest is getting married. He's like dating a girl right now. So priests were married in the early church as well. The apostles were married. Peter had a wife. So a lot of the apostles had wives. Priests being celibate was a development in the church, and the priests were choosing to be celibate. It wasn't something like forced on everyone by some random pope, but it was something where the people were excited to be celibate priests. So Amy says, my boyfriend and I are celibate and we've been together for 5 years in April. Oh, that's so exciting. Are you guys gonna get engaged and married anytime soon? I feel like I would not be dating Trevor for 5 years. We would be married before that. We would have kids before that. How can you be with someone for, how old are you? Because I would want to get married. Jesus was not married, absolutely. So that's a really beautiful thing. And Paul was also not married. But Paul and Peter started the church. Peter was married, Paul was not married. But anyways, I think celibate priests are really important. I think that married priests are also really important. We can have both, and we do have both, and we've always had both. Two things can be true at the same time. Okay, Alexander says, the reason I asked when will you be at your parents' house wasn't to be creepy, sorry. It's that I'm looking forward to know how Trevor's first impression goes. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, I'll keep you updated in the live stream. So we're going for Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving break, we're gonna fly to Florida. So yeah, it's gonna be really fun seeing him meet my family, because I've met all of his family and like his extended family, and I love them so much. Like, I miss his family. I was missing his mom so much today. So I really hope that things go well with my parents as well. And yeah, I'm really excited because he's definitely my future. So I think it's so cool. I think that him and my dad will click so well because they're both professors. Well, Trevor is in his PhD right now. He's not a professor yet, but he's going to be. And so him and my dad are totally scholars, and they both have books around their houses, and they both love writing and literature. So him and my dad, he's so similar to my dad. So I think that they'll get along really well, and my mom is so easy to talk to with everyone. So I think that she'll be fine, and he's already met my sister, and they bonded pretty good over how obnoxious I am in public and how worried they are about me all the time. So I think that he'll bond with my family. I hope it goes well. We're very nervous, but I'm really excited too. Subtitles in Spanish, TMI? Why is that too much information? I'm manic, guys. Don't make fun of me. How long have you all been dating? We've been dating for since August of 2017. So for 2 years. How old are your parents? They were born in 1954 and 1960. So however old. You spilled the tea. That's so cute. Catholics do believe and have always believed in original sin. Further, is the King James Version Bible legit or is it modified? So the crazy thing about the King James Bible is that it was created at the time to be in the vernacular, local language of the time. And there were actually several versions of the King James Version. So it was being updated to better fit the language. So it's ironic and hilarious that now we're sticking to one translation and not constantly adapting it to newer English. Because the whole point was to be changed and adapted into newer English, right? So it's really weird that, yeah. Okay, let's go back into the video. So number 4, some people in the comments were like against this and being like, I don't share the faith and all of these things. But okay, I'm actually gonna read your comments first. But number 4 is mistakes that Catholics make when evangelizing is not evangelizing and keeping silent, not wanting to rock the boat and not saying anything. And as someone who became Catholic, it was so tragic to me looking back on relationships I had in my life when I was in college, Catholics who I was really close to, who I spent so much time with, who had not told me straight up why they were Catholic, had not explained the Eucharist to me. I even dated a Catholic guy in college, huge part of my college experience, and he didn't actively try to convert me. He did a little bit. We had some conversations, but some of my friends in the philosophy department who I spent countless hours in philosophy club classes studying with, some people in my dorms, they never explained the faith to me and debated the faith and just explained, this is why I converted. And I wish they had. And maybe I should be with some of my friends in my life right now, but a story, I was talking about my friend Liz a bit ago, if you guys just joined the stream or were a while ago. Oh, also, thumbs up this video, like this video, guys. Thumbs up the video. You guys already, so many people did, so you guys have been in my live streams before. But, so my friend who was just confirmed, her father-in-law, so she got married a month ago, pretty recently, but her father-in-law was, okay, so her husband and his brother, the family she married into was Catholic, okay? And the father-in-law was really intense, and he's like, you need to go to RCIA, you should become Catholic, you should become Catholic, Catholicism is true, join RCIA. And he was so intense, and like, if you're gonna marry into this family, you have to be open to Catholicism. And because he pushed her so hard, she is Catholic now. And it transformed the way I think about evangelism, because I'm like, wow, one of my favorite people in the world is Catholic now. And she wouldn't have become Catholic if she hadn't been pushed so hard by someone. And she did find it to be true, and it is true. And so maybe sometimes it's good to push people. And I think that God needs to give us the wisdom of when that's right, because I think being humble is being silent, but there needs to be a balance between sharing and not sharing. So that is number 1 through 4. Number 1 is stuck in debating the Bible. Number 2 is getting sensitive. Number 3, never admitting that you're wrong and not being humble. And number 4 is not evangelizing and being silent and sharing. And number 5 is leading with talking about the sexual ethics, which everyone's talking about married priests, but I have so much to say on this topic, and YouTube wants to demonetize me for talking about this topic. I love the Book of Tobit, it's so funny. So I'm gonna scroll up and read through a lot of your comments right now. I'm gonna go up and read comments. So Gabby Mosley asks, what are the best tips on going vegan? I'm vegetarian, but I'm having a tough time going vegan. So Google Lizzie's Answers vegan playlist, and I have many videos where I talk about how to go vegan. I get this question all the time. So I've made so many recipe videos, grocery haul videos, I made a whole video talking about how I gradually transitioned my diet, my vegan story where I'm wearing a red dress. So go check out those videos. I've been in RCIA for a month now. Chris Carroll says, and vegan for 4 months because of you. Oh, that makes me so happy. John says Mormonism is a cult. Steven says, what do you think of Taylor Marshall bashing Bishop Barron for his view on hell? I think that I made a whole live stream talking about this for 2 hours, so you can go watch the video. I think it's important to not give sound bites, but see things in their full context for sure. Santiago, this is a good exercise of communication. I'm very happy that you can share your experience and the Catholic doctrine. God bless you. I know about Mormonism from South Park. Did you read a book of G.K. Chesterton? My favorite is Everlasting Man. I will write that down. Everlasting Man. I'm gonna go right on here. I have my computer over here. Everlasting Man by G.K. Chesterton. I'm finishing reading this book on the Eucharist that Trevor gave me like at the beginning of our relationship, and I only got to page 100, so I'm like finishing reading it now, but then after that, I'm gonna buy a new book. John says, Lizzie, are you going to watch the new movie about Sister Faustina? It opens October 28th. I don't know. Cami, is this live chat reserved for talking about religion? No, I have like 500 videos and they're not all about religion. So we can talk about literally anything. We were talking about Trevor really recently, so. I love the book of Tobit. It's so funny. Tobit has a special place in my heart because it was the first book of the Bible I read that isn't in the Protestant Bible. Does that make sense? So it was like, oh, so much more spiritual treasure. It was really cool. What do you know about the Divine Mercy? So it's like the painting where Jesus is like reaching out, and the Divine Mercy Chaplet in Ireland, they're obsessed with it. When I was there, they prayed with it a lot. Cami, that spoke to me, dude. Francis, how do you explain the existence of other religions? How are you sure what the church teaches is true compared to other religions? That's a really good question. Amy, I just started reading Tobit for the first time. Oh, that's so exciting. Why is everything in the world so difficult to comprehend? Oh my gosh, you guys are asking me really hard questions that I don't know how to answer. Let's go up and read more. Ryan says, there is a woman I know who is Catholic and thinks evangelizing is just telling people you're wrong and basically you are winning and will go to hell. She says admonishing a sinner is a work of mercy. Nope. Jesus was very, very gentle when talking to people. Robert Woodman says, I converted 23 years ago. I have heard older Catholics say that they were taught as children not to proselytize. I am so glad that Protestants entering the church are bringing evangelical fervor. Yes, and oh my gosh, so people were, real quick, I'm going to read a comment and then say what I was going to say. Dean says, many people who call themselves Catholic aren't actually Catholic due to unbelief in the Eucharist, so it's not surprising that those people didn't share their faith. So my friends, though, who were Catholic in college are actually really passionate about it, and a lot of people were converts. So I know that many people don't believe in the Eucharist, but my friends who I'm talking about did believe in the Eucharist. So what I was going to say, though, with people being taught to not share the faith, Scott Hahn in Rome Sweet Home, he said that he went to a priest and he was like, I want to become Catholic. Can I become Catholic? And the priest was like, after Vatican II, we don't need Protestants to become Catholic. Like, he wouldn't let him like become Catholic. Isn't that wild? So that literally happens, and even priests believe that. But the whole Bishop Barron Taylor Marshall thing, one of the things that Taylor Marshall and Tim Gordon were saying is that if we teach that Protestants could go to heaven, or we teach that hell might be empty, or we teach that more people will be in heaven, it discourages people, it discourages Catholics from evangelizing if we believe that many people are saved. But I totally disagree with that, because I'm so passionate about God and I can't imagine my life without him. Like, I've gone through so much pain, so much struggle with my mental illness, suicide ideation, all these awful things, and I would not have been able to remain strong and to have confidence and to know my worth if it were not for my faith and if it were not for being able to pray and cry to God. So I want everyone else to have that strength and that peace and that joy that I have. And that's why I share my faith. It's not because I'm scared people are going to go to hell. I mean, obviously you want people to enjoy eternal happiness with God, but it's also about what's going on earth. Does that make sense? And so Vatican II, there's this part of it that says, those who through no fault of their own don't know of Christ or his church may obtain eternal salvation. And so that part in Vatican II, people could argue that it decreases evangelism, but I think the opposite. I think that people will continue to evangelize because it's so much about what's happening on earth as well. Does that make sense? Like, I'm so passionate about God right now, and oh my gosh, in the Old Testament, in so many of the Psalms, David is so passionate talking about how worshiping God in the temple for his whole life is like the most amazing gift ever. And so just thinking about our lives on earth worshiping God and how beautiful that is. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading your comments. Vincent Leon says, so I'm homosexual, a more controversial comment. The Catholic Church is my home, but it's hard. I hear what people in my church say about me, and I see the way they look at me. It's disgust. I feel no love in the Catholic Church. I love you so much. So many people love you. God loves you intrinsically. That's so sad that you're in a place where people are judging you because of an emotion and attraction you have. That's not even an action. If you're attracted to a person, that doesn't mean you have less worth or that you're not worthy of being loved, you're not worthy of being friends with or being close to someone. So I'm so sorry that you're dealing with it. I know if you went to my parish, you wouldn't be dealing with that in any way. I know that there are people who are openly gay at my church and they're so loved and accepted, and I think that there's totally a difference between actions and attraction. And so if someone's judging you just because of who you're attracted to, that's insane. And I hate that that's happening to you. And I wish you went to my parish and you could be friends with people at my parish because you would be so loved and accepted. So just because you're at one parish and you don't have friends does not mean every single parish is going to be like that, or every single group of Catholics is like that. There's 1 billion Catholics in the world. So I encourage you to go to a different church. People are flawed, but God accepts you and loves you. And I think it's really noteworthy, heroic that you remain in the church even though you feel like you're not loved, that you know it's your home and that you're Catholic for Christ. I think that's really powerful if you feel unloved, but you know you're still here. Okay, let's read comments. Melissa says, once I was asked if I was Catholic. When I said yes, he started to say how he used to be Catholic, but God told him that it was wrong. I'm autistic and I was so uncomfortable with his approach. That sounds so weird that he's saying that God spoke to him and told him that it was wrong. That's kind of like Joseph Smith, manic psychosis break behavior. You know what I mean? If you think God literally spoke to you. The world is beautiful 9. This is an interesting question. How do you avoid being a sensitive person? It's a huge part of my personality, which sucks because I cry easily. I used to be like that too, where I used to cry really easily, and I think I just dealt with having parents who were not emotionally sensitive in any way, and it like forced me to stop being sensitive. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, I actually don't have advice for that. I don't know what to say. Zachary says, I love you. My 2 best friends are gay, one being a drag queen. You're definitely loved. Blue, totally. Not all Catholics have that same point of view, Vincent. Just because you disagree with Dr. Marshall doesn't mean he has extreme beliefs. How often do you go to confession, Amy Marie? Probably every 2 or 3 weeks. It depends on what I've been doing, how I've been treating myself. Dean Barker, the teaching is that Protestants might go to heaven. This is really important, guys. Listen. The teaching is that Protestants might go to heaven if they had no knowledge of need to convert, but did all they could to follow Christ. That's not the majority, and we should lead people to convert. Absolutely. Lizzie, I started journaling like you suggested. It has deepened my faith so much. Oh, what's ironic is I haven't journaled in so long. I used to journal like all the time, and then after my depression, I didn't really get back into it. But yeah, I might start journaling again, but I just haven't. Because I used to like obsessively journal and take notes because I thought I would forget my life. And now I'm just kind of like, I'm gonna forget my life because I have so much memory loss. But Chosen Prophet, Lizzie merch, loads of hearts. I want to make some. Joseph Smith was a con artist. No, he was just bipolar. He was having a manic episode. He's not a con artist. He didn't have negative intentions at all. Don't judge people for being mentally ill. That's so mean. John says that Jehovah's Witnesses deny the Trinity and the deity of Christ. Mormons do as well. So Jonathan says, I think that older Catholics were taught as children not to evangelize because of anti-Catholic prejudice. Where I live in the South, in Alabama, it was intense anti-Catholic sentiment. That's really sad. Kiki says, I would love for you to put subtitles in Spanish in your videos. God bless you. I need more donations to my channel if you want me to pay people to do subtitles, because it like adds up if I have people translate every single video, you know? But if I made more money from my YouTube, I would totally do that. And Portuguese as well. John Mint says that celibacy is a gift from God. Yes. Edwin says, thoughts on Catholics that are Democrat? We talked about this last live stream, but I'm actually a registered Democrat. So I'm pretty moderate on my political beliefs. I obviously am pro-life, and a lot of Democrats are pro-life. So I think it's really important to not put everyone in a box or assume that all Democrats love abortion, because most Democrats do not. And yeah, there's a lot of Democrats who are pro-life. So a lot of Democrats who are Catholic. Half of practicing Catholics vote Democrat. So you're not alone. So the life of Kamasa says, I want to wait until I'm engaged to kiss because kissing isn't a big deal, but I want to make it one. LOL. Okay, so kissing is really important because you actually, when you transfer saliva, there's a lot of chemicals and pheromones shed. And so it's basically sharing with each other if you're compatible physically, not like sexually compatible, but basically like evolutionary things to make sure that you have diverse genes and are able to produce healthy children. But those pheromones are basically like, do you have that chemical surge of attraction? And I think it's really important to be that attracted to someone. So you can share pheromones through just like being in the presence of someone, but when you make out with someone, you also, there's more pheromones shared. So that's my perspective on kissing. I think it's important biologically. Andrew says, I had to drop Catholicism due to depression. And I also think it's important to know if you're like sexually attracted to someone, and kissing is important. And obviously kissing isn't sexual, like it shouldn't be sexual, but you should be able to have like some amount of physical with someone to know if you're even into them. You know what I mean? So I don't think by talking to someone, I don't know, maybe you don't. What do you guys think? Because like, I guess I knew I was attracted to Trevor before I'd ever like hugged him. I don't know. I just know physical touch is my love language, so I couldn't imagine being in a relationship where we didn't like kiss or cuddle or hug or anything. Like, I don't know, I would feel so unloved all the time. It would be really, really sad. Traditional Latin Mass or Divine Liturgy. I prefer Byzantine Divine Liturgy to traditional Latin Mass. What about you guys? If you are a pro-life Democrat, go follow Democrats for Life of America. They actively look for Democrats that are pro-life from womb to tomb. That's so cool. Yeah, there totally are. Let me go pro-life Democrats for Life. Okay, I'm gonna go to my computer and look that up real quick. This is interesting. Democrats for Life. I'm gonna go on Twitter. Democrats. Because I think it's really important to change both parties. Dems for Life on Twitter. Let's see. Oh my gosh, there's people I follow on Twitter who follow them. Human Life Action. Catherine Hadro follows them, and Father Matthew Schneider. Maybe these people are secretly Democrats. What do you think? Or they just care about changing the party. What if Catherine Hadro is actually a Democrat? Wouldn't that be wild? I'm pretty sure she votes Republican, but maybe she probably interviews people from there. Oh yes, Democrats for Life. The lady who runs the organization is a Catholic. Stephen says, some think Christ died to save us from hell and God's wrath, but I think we were saved from sin and death via the loving sacrifice of Christ. Otherwise, we put Christ against the Father. Byzantine Catholic for Life says, I had to drop Protestantism due to church history and theology and dog. Oh my gosh. I read that at first saying you became Protestant because of church history and theology and dogma. And I was like, what church history are you reading? Okay. Cool. Francis Vassallo, this transitions into number 5. Francis Vassallo says, why do you think Christians focus on the gay issue so much? I'm gay and accept church teaching, but I feel like there are so many more pressing issues that the Christians should be dealing with. Okay, so this is a really good point that I think about a lot. There are a lot of like Catholic public figures I follow on Twitter, and I feel like they go through phases where like the only thing they talk about is the gay issue like all the time. They're so intense about that. And when it comes to sexual ethics, I don't see them being like divorce is so awful or birth control is so awful or masturbation is awful. Although there are, what is his name? Pints with Aquinas guy, he is really against masturbation. That's like his issue. I think that's really cool that he's talking about that. But yeah, people focus on it so much, and my thing is obviously you should talk about it and you should be consistent with your sexual ethics and you should accept all church teaching, but I think that you should not lead with saying we are against gay marriage, we are against birth control. You should never lead with that. You should lead with the beautiful truths of the church. You should lead talking about the Eucharist, talking about church authority and bishops, and talking about Mary being the mother for all of us. There are so many beautiful things to lead with, and I think that, yes, the teachings on sexual ethics, I know this is controversial, they are beautiful once you see them, but if I had known when I was becoming Catholic, and Trevor is similar, if we had known that we had to be against gay marriage and be against birth control to be confirmed Catholic, I don't think we would have kept looking in all the way. I can't speak for him exactly, but I think that we are very similar, our perspectives as Protestants, and if we knew that we had to change our mind on those issues, absolutely, I don't know if we would have continued researching in. I don't know if we would have been able to find the church to be true and then change our mind on those issues. Does that make sense? You have to see enough evidence in the early church of the Catholic Orthodox faith being the original one. And then after that, you're convinced enough to begin looking into these other controversial hot button issues. And I think that a lot of people who are Catholic kind of underestimate how hard that is for converts. But I was totally pro-gay marriage when I was Protestant, just because so many of my subscribers had been, we were talking about self-harm at the beginning of the live stream, so many of my subscribers have been self-harming or have attempted suicide or been suicidal who are gay because of coming out. And so I saw it as, to love those people, I had to accept gay marriage. That was just, I'm so black and white in my thinking. And obviously I saw birth control as being very misogynistic. I thought that we just wanted Catholic women to be housewives, and to not go to grad school, to not get degrees, to not have careers. That's how I saw it. And it would have been impossible for me to not see it that way if I did not already accept the Eucharist. Does that make sense? And so we should not lead or hyper focus on the sexual ethics once people are already coming into the church. Like in RCIA, that's a great time to discuss the sexual ethics. But when we're talking about the truths of the church, if our main thing that the world is hearing is we're against gay marriage, birth control is evil, if that's the only thing that they're hearing from us, it's not making the faith look beautiful. And I know that's my personal opinion, and I know that's controversial to say, but I think that leading with those things is not going to increase converts. And I'm not silent about these things. I've made so many videos on saving sex for marriage and why I'm against birth control and my opinion on same-sex attraction and all of these things. So I definitely talk about it. But if you look at like a playlist of like the 70 videos I've made in Catholicism, that's not like the top of the playlist, and that's not the majority of the playlist, because there's so much beautiful church history and saints and teachings, and like the relics video I uploaded today. There's so much beauty in Catholicism, and you don't have to lead with gay marriage is awful. So those are the 5 mistakes that Catholics make in evangelizing. What do you guys think are other mistakes that Catholics made? Did the stream freeze for anyone else? Yes. The Life of Kamasa says, I always sabotage relationships when I meet a boy I like because I get scared. LOL, help. I don't know what to say. I never get shy, so I wouldn't be able to understand. Mariah says, when you have children, how are you going to teach all our beliefs to them? That would be so cool, and I think I'll definitely make a lot of videos. Oh, do you guys want to see how bad my outfit is right now? Wait a second. I'm literally wearing like cheetah print shorts, and it doesn't go at all, but I just wanted to be cozy, and these are like my pajama shorts that I sleep in, and I wanted to be cozy. But when I have children, obviously I'll talk about parenting a lot. I'll probably introduce my children on camera a couple times. I don't know how I'll deal with that. My favorite YouTuber, Unnatural Vegan. Well, she's not like my favorite YouTuber. My favorite YouTuber is Emily Wilson. But Unnatural Vegan is probably number 2. And Cimarelli is also up there. But she made a video talking about why she never has her children in videos and why she's against family vlogging. Because it's like an invasion of privacy, and your kids cannot consent to be on camera because they're like under 18 or something. And anyway, she made this whole video. And so I'm against doing like family vlogging, but I definitely will talk about my children and stuff. And so I think I'll figure out at the time. Edwin says, I love Emily Wilson too, although she's a bit over the top at times. I don't think she's over the top. What does that mean? I recently found out she's an introvert. Isn't that crazy? She was sharing on social media. It was interesting. She's like, I get sad sometimes because I'm alone, because she's like at home with her baby all the time, more than she used to be. And I'm thinking, like, if you're an introvert, but she says because she's an introvert, so she has to go out and talk to people more. And I was thinking, like, I'm an extrovert and I don't get lonely being at home. So I don't know what the deal is. I guess it just doesn't make sense to me how if you're an introvert, you get lonely. Because I'm an extrovert and I never get lonely. Matt Frad. Okay, Jonathan Jackson says, I think the separation between the Catholic and Orthodox Church is man-made and not substantial enough to justify continued lack of communion. but I'm Melkite Greek Catholic, so I would say that. No, I agree. I think that the differences between them are so slight, and it's so tragic and sad because with Protestants, it's like, okay, we disagree with like a long laundry list of issues. But with the Orthodox Church, we agree on everything that's the most important, and like these tiny differences in like ancestral sin versus original sin, like it's so similar. The filioque, we were dealing with a heresy at the time. We generally agree with each other. It's just, it's so sad to not be united. It's so sad. And Catholics have actually opened it up, and they said Orthodox are allowed to receive Catholic communion, which is really beautiful. Love Jesus says, I am 2 years SH clean. Don't know what that means. I literally fell to my knees asking God to heal me, and the next day I had the strength to work on being clean. That's so exciting. I'm so happy for you. I don't even know what you're clean from, but addiction is awful, and it's amazing if you could be so strong and get through that. Oh, smoking heroin, maybe? I don't know. Two Listening One says, I just got on. Did you talk about natural family planning tonight? It's so exciting and beautiful, I think. Yeah, and Catholic women actually, there's a study, and they were asked if you could cuddle or have sex, what would you pick if you were like tired or something? And the Catholic women picked having sex more than the Protestant women. But also they've done studies, and Catholics actually have more sex long term because kind of you want what you can't have. So it constantly keeps up the passion in marriage because you have to go like a week without having sex. So I think it's great, and people who complain about it, I don't understand, because like I've been with my boyfriend for 2 years and we've never had sex. And we're still able to be like, to kiss each other, and it's sweet. And I want to just kiss each other when we're married. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be like some weird foreplay thing and that's it. Like, I just want to kiss him. So I think it's fine. So I don't know why people are so concerned about having sex all the time. Like, it's just a dopamine hit. You know what okay, it's not just a dopamine hit. It's like a sacrament in Catholicism and all these things, but. Alioth, what do you think about the Pope's idea that priests will be able to get married? Newsflash, priests already are married in Catholicism in the Eastern Church. It's not new. The apostles were married. Peter had a wife. There have been married priests throughout Catholic history. It's not a new thing. It's happened. Millions of priests have been married. Maybe not millions, maybe thousands, but Lizzie, you're funny. Yes, the couples who practice it say it's a courtship and a honeymoon every month. Where's the kale? That's a good question. I actually have kale in my fridge over there, so I could go make kale, but I'm gonna eat after this live stream. Dean says, the church teaches that sex isn't meant for marital unity and procreation. What? Mark Lenza says, when we eat the bread of life, we receive salvation. Two Listening One says, when I was in public school, believe it or not, it is very effective. Do you mean like in educating you? Like, I feel the same. Obviously, like I went to school, I learned a lot. Guys, thumbs up the video and like it helps with the algorithm. Also, every single one of you watching, go click the bell button next to the subscribe button and you will get notifications when I upload a new video. Otherwise, YouTube may never ever show you my videos because of how the algorithm works. So thumbs up the video. Steven says, one mistake Catholics make in evangelism is saying a baby will be sent to hell without baptism. This turns new parents off from the faith, in my opinion. I do believe in infant baptism, however. Yeah, absolutely. We don't believe they go to hell for not being baptized, and that's not like the reason to be baptized. I made a whole video talking about infant baptism. So if you YouTube search Lizzie's Answers, infant baptism, that will come up. Hi, Lizzie. Hi, Straight Blade. Ananias, hello. Hi, Andrew. Are you instructed to abstain? Ananias, Do you want a good theology book on emotions? I always thumbs up your videos. Thank you so much. Julia says, my husband won't make out with me. It's my favorite thing to do physically in love. I don't know how I'll go my whole life without it, but okay. That's so sad. I've talked about that with my boyfriend, and he's like, we'll always kiss each other. That's so sad. You need to talk to him about it. This is a huge problem where couples don't talk about their sex lives or physical intimacy if they're not getting like what they need out of, not like you need the other person, you do need them. But if you're not fulfilled in the physical part of your relationship, you should talk about it. And I think a lot of people don't talk about it. So that's so sad. I would be so sad too. Hey Lizzie, can you speak Spanish? I'm really bad at Spanish. I learned 3 years in high school, but it's been forever. But I was in Mexico last year, and it actually like came out when I was in Mexico. So you guys are talking to each other so much. Okay, Edwin says, since I'm a junior at college, like in California and New York because of the sexual revolution, no, I don't want to make a video about that. I don't know enough about that. I don't think it fits my channel, sorry. I'm reading through comments. Ananias Castillo says, speak a little about your rosary journey. So I actually worked with a company, like a sponsored video with rosaries, and the rosaries they sent me were so cute and beautiful and like watercolor painted and giant roses and stuff. And so because I was gifted the rosaries, it was like, at the time, I read this book called The Life of the Virgin by Maximus the Confessor. I read it with my boyfriend. We read it together. It was like a relationship, spiritual activity. And it was so beautiful, and it kind of showed the entire life of Jesus through Mary's eyes, but it was kind of like a creative nonfiction. So it made it so vivid and alive and detailed, and like I could see the story. And so the combination of both of that, and then my parish, we always did rosary before like our Bible study. So I'd been doing the rosary with my church. But then once I read the book, I started doing it by myself, and I started like seeing all of it. And yeah, so that's kind of my rosary journey, just The Virgin by Maximus the Confessor. Jonathan says, I love tradition. Roy says, hi Lizzie, thank you so much for sharing your experience. You help us to strengthen our faith. Oh, that makes me so happy. That's all I want to do. Mariah says, do you have a theology of the body video? No, but I have probably like 15 videos talking about sexual ethics and Catholicism. So if you YouTube search Lizzie's Answers Sex, definitely my videos will come up, which is kind of funny thinking about it that I talk about this so much and I'm a virgin. Like if you looked at it from like an objective context, it'd be really weird to be making so many videos on sex and the theology of sex. Can anyone speak Cantonese? That sounds amazing. Lizzie, you know you can now learn Latin on Duolingo. Will you be learning it? Oh my gosh, I should download Duolingo. Wait, I'm gonna write this down because I'm on my phone right now, so I can't write it down to do Duolingo. Because my boyfriend is obsessed with Duolingo. He does it like every night. He's learning Spanish right now. So he should be able to speak Duolingo. So I should definitely get it and learn. I should do Latin. Can you like challenge other people? Because I know there's rankings and stuff. So can you like compete with people in your life? I think that'd be so cool. The Snip says, what should I say to someone who would rather remain open to spirituality and rather not follow a religion. Okay, so when it comes, Jesus started a religion. Jesus started a church. He picked the 12 apostles and Judas betrayed him. And then at the beginning of Acts, they picked someone else to replace him as the apostle. And so the apostles started the church, which is an organized religion. And so Jesus did not create spiritual and not religious. He created a religion called Christianity. He created a church. And I think that the Protestant heresy is creating this idea that you can be spiritual and not religious because they've essentially separated the Bible from the church. So now you can read the Bible on your own. So I think that like during the Protestant Reformation, you could have predicted that this spiritual, not religious thing would arise from it. Is Duolingo free? Yes, there's a lot of ads on it, so you can pay to have like no ads, but it works totally fine with the free version. Guys, thumbs up and like the video. Ananias Castillo says, it's so weird having direct contact with you because you truly helped me on my journey. Like almost every video you put on answered the current struggle I dealt with. Thank you and thank God. Oh, that makes me so happy. It's so cool when I upload a video and someone's like specifically dealing with that. Jonathan Jackson asks, can I learn Koine Greek on that? Like the liturgical Greek? I don't know if you can. Okay, Abby Royce said, dude, you and I went to the same Church of Christ. I doubt you'll remember me, but I was best friends with Christina Polania's little sister. Christian Polania's. Christian, the guy Christian? I totally forget his last name. Is he the guy who went to like university, like Central Florida and was doing some science thing? We have to know each other. The church was small. Christian had a little sister. Oh my gosh. So you were young. So we were not in youth group together. Layman Frank, do you like Peter Kreeft? Yes. I think that I was on his show or something and he sent me his book and I didn't read it because so many people were sending me books last year. But on Duolingo, you can learn Greek and Latin, but he wants to know if you can learn like the Greek of the Bible, like Koine Greek. Alyssa says, I'm a convert. I've been Catholic for 5 years now, and I still struggle with confession. I know the theology. Oh, I lost it. Babbel is an app like Duolingo. Sorry, guys, I'm losing your questions. Abby Royce, the person who we know each other from church, your videos are beautiful and I'm really happy to see how far you've come. Are you Catholic too? You should convert into Catholicism. So many people at our church, their parents were ex-Catholics. Isn't that wild? And oh my gosh, do you know Zuri Davis? She's Catholic now. I was at my boyfriend's cathedral in Nashville and she went through the communion line like to be blessed. She wasn't Catholic at the time. And literally, like, she sees me, and she's like, and then she comes up to me after, and she converted in as well. So join the people converting. Yes. It's so interesting when people in my real life come into the live streams. This has happened several times where like people from my past life, like recently someone from my high school who I like sort of knew was like in my video, and it's like, I guess they knew at the time that I have a YouTube channel. So Abby says, I love Zuri. She is so sweet. I'm not Catholic, but I'm Jewish now. Oh my gosh. I wish I had confession in Islam. I actually thought before of asking a priest just to listen to me confess. Oh my gosh, yeah, I love confession so much. Just become Catholic then. It's so rejuvenating and it makes me think so much about my life and my actions and how I'm living and wanting to be better all the time because I'm constantly thinking of what to say in confession. Alioth says, Lizzie, have you tried reading the Vulgate? No, I don't know Latin. 2 listening 1, sorry to repeat myself, Liz, but reply quickly. I meant public school had Planned Parenthood come and they admitted natural family planning works very well. That's really cool that Planned Parenthood is promoting natural family planning. It does work really well. Jonathan says, everyone become Catholic, have all the confessions that you need. Have you read the Book of Mormon? Yes, but not all of it. Oh my gosh, the Book of Mormon, we were just talking about King James Version, is written in King James English, and because of the way it's written, there isn't another translation. So they just have to stick with the old English translation, and I hate King James language, Shakespearean. I hate that so much. Just my personal opinion. A lot of people think it's beautiful. I can't stand it. So I tried. I was planning to get through a lot of it, but I just couldn't. Have you read the Book of Enoch? No. Mother Miriam was Jewish. Alyssa says, I'm a convert, and I still struggle with confession. I know the theology behind it and stuff, but I still don't get why we have to go. Thoughts? I made a whole video on confession. If you know the theology of it, it literally says, if you forgive their sins, they are forgiven. If you do not forgive their sins, they are not forgiven. So if we commit mortal sin, they are not forgiven unless we go through Jesus in the priests. So it's like mandatory. But on an emotional level, I understand it too. Anyways, I made a whole video on confession and apostolic succession, but that's just how Jesus created the church. Daniel says, hi everyone, I am Catholic from Chile and I love confession. I don't understand why most Catholics seldom go to confession from what I perceive. Yeah, I don't understand it either. I go a lot. Layman Frank says, we have to go to the sacrament of confession because it's a gift from God. But Lizzie can definitely answer better. Alexander says, I never said Catholicism is more true because something else isn't. Do you think the church should permit the baptizing of embryos? Would that work? I don't understand, you guys. Jonathan says, it's funny to me that King James Version onlyists are almost never Anglican. That's hilarious that Anglicans and people from UK are never King James onlyists. I've never thought of it like that. Okay, so Trevor has this really weird thing where he watches King James onlyists on YouTube. Like, he has several YouTubers who he regularly watches because his tradition when he was Protestant was like that, some of the people he knew, so he still watches it. And like, I still listen to Church of Christ a cappella songs, so I'm like holding on to that, and this is kind of something that he's into, and it's so weird. I love him though. Blue16 says, Lizzie, I have a question. How would you respond to someone when they say they don't believe in saints, that saints are real, and if you do, what's wrong? Okay, literally, my most recent video I made talking about relics, I talked about the saint so much in the video, and I really recommend watching that video, but maybe I should let me know if you guys want to make a whole video about saints and why they're a part of us. But I was talking about the relics of saints, so I talked about all these Bible verses about them. So there's the Bible verse in Revelation 6 that talks about the souls of martyred Christians being around God's throne and praying. And then in the book of Hebrews, there is a Bible verse about the cloud of witnesses, the great cloud of witnesses around us. So both of those Bible verses are great. Yes, that would be awesome, making a video about saints. Realist comment I've seen. I want to see this. Straight Blade says, I love confession because I have the ability to admit my stupidness. Layman Frank, is your boyfriend the jealous type? No, he's the complete opposite. I have so many guy friends. I have guy roommates. I have guy best friends. I have guys who I say like I love you to on the phone, and new guy friends being in the relationship. So yeah, we're really open, and I'm really open. If he wants to like hang out with girls one-on-one or text girls, we're very, we trust each other a lot. If you don't have trust in your relationship, why would you be in a relationship? So yes, yup, could you make the video about saints? It would be great. Yeah, I totally will. How do you evangelize to siblings if they aren't Christian? I don't know. I think just modeling your faith, like if you're open and you talk about going to church and you talk about your prayer life or reading the Bible, like don't hide the part of you that is Christian. And I think when it comes to anyone, if you just are open about your faith and don't try to hide it, it's a testament to other people. But pray, like pray and pray and pray and pray. There's a Bible verse and it says, Jesus says, you do not have because you do not ask. And so I think so often we're looking around at people in our lives who are not Catholic and we're like, I'm so sad they're not a Christian. I'm so sad they don't know Christ. And it's like, why are we not praying and praying and praying every single day? Like pray every day for them to become Christian and see what happens. The like of Chasma says, why did you start your YouTube channel? Andrew says, I guess I'll just leave. Andrew says it's pretty obvious she ignored all my questions. Okay, listen, there are like do comments. So I can't read everyone's comments. Like it's like I see different ones. I don't ignore people's comments. Like if you've been watching the stream, I've literally read questions that I don't even know the answer to in any way, and I read them. So I'm trying to read your comments. I love you so much. I'm really sorry. I've asked like 20 questions. Okay, why don't you write all of them in the comment and I'll pay attention right now. Lizzie, I just said that to him. Michael. Alioth, how do I become a canonized saint? Because we are all saints, right? I don't know how to become a canonized saint. I don't know the answer to that question. I think that if you want to become like officially canonized, you have to be famous. So people have to know who you are, or you have to like write things. Yeah, I think if you write a book, that's how you could become a canonized. That's so funny. I should write you have to have like an exemplary life as well. I keep doing the sign of the cross wrong. Okay, this is how I do the sign of the cross, guys. I go like this, the Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. And then I do like the human and divine nature of Christ. And you're supposed to go like that in the Orthodox Church. Am I correct? Any Byzantine Catholics, any Eastern Catholics, Melkite Catholic, what do you do? I think you're supposed to go like that in the Eastern Church, but I go like this. And then I cross myself like this. And I actually cross myself the Orthodox way for like the longest time. Because I was going to Orthodox Church for 5 months of 2017. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, so Byzantine Catholics go like this. So I just go like hanging fingers. Michael, okay, so I feel like a saint is someone who is in heaven even if they are not recognized in the church. Correct. And on earth too. We are all saints right now. Alioth, Lizzie, but all Christians are saints, right? The New Testament. Yeah, I literally answered your question as you're asking it. Yeah. Gian says, were you Catholic your whole life? No, I converted into Catholicism a year ago. I made so many videos talking about my conversion. You can, I was thinking of like the exact video. If you YouTube search Lizzie's Answers Becoming Catholic, why I'm becoming Catholic, I have like a 2-part series where I talk about it. So, and oh my gosh, I was rewatching that video recently just because sometimes I watch my old videos because I have memory loss, so I want to remember my life, you know? And it was so intense and like emotional, and I understand why it became a news story within the Catholic media world, because I was like, I hated that this was happening. Like, I can't even mimic the emotions. It was just so raw and real, and what I've been going through. Are saints the same as prophets? No. So prophets are in the Old Testament. So like Elijah, Isaiah, John the Baptist. John the Baptist is in the New Testament, but he was the last prophet. Jesus is talked about as a prophet. Sorry guys, I just went away. There was a priest, Mariah says, who died on the Titanic to continuously do confession, and I wanted to be canonized so bad. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Byzantine Catholic for life. If you want to become, I love your username so much. It's one of my favorite usernames. What's your picture? Okay. Melissa says, I had a friend once say saints weren't real and that they were the same as the Tooth Fairy or the Easter Bunny. I tried to explain that many saints are historical figures, but he would not listen. Oh my gosh. Miracles are the best way to get canonized. Oh, yeah. So basically you have to have people like asking for your intercession once you die, and you have to have a proven medical miracle and have an exemplary life and be somewhat well known. So what I recommend if you want to be I feel like you shouldn't aim to be like a canonized saint. Like you should aim to be a saint, but you shouldn't be like, I want to be really famous in the future, right? You should just like want to be in heaven, not like be famous. I don't think that. Byzantine Catholic for life. Sorry if I'm being cold and callous. I don't think you are. It was a good day up until my future wife and I had a really bad argument. We're not too happy with each other right now, so prayers are appreciated. Andrew, I really don't understand Catholicism at all. Go look, YouTube search Lizzie's Answers Catholicism playlist, and I have 70 videos ready to go explaining the Catholic faith. Renzin, hello, hi. What's your favorite anime series? Okay, so I don't watch anime, but there's this one show and it's called, I don't know the name of it. It's, it's like judging people after they die if they're going to heaven or hell. And there's like an arbiter. Yeah, arbiter is a good word for what the character is in the show. Pokemon? No. So there's an arbiter, and then they have to play kind of like a game. So it's people who are kind of like in the middle of going to heaven or hell in their world, and they play a game, and it shows like screenshots of their past and stuff. It's really cool. Sounds like The Good Place. I know The Good Place is so similar to it, but it's way better than The Good Place. Like so good. Do you ever have any doubts? Do you ever question if God is real? Yes, I actually wanted to become atheist in 2017 and I made videos in 2016 and I made videos talking about it. So I really questioned God and I wanted to stop believing in God. And then I had arguments for the resurrection and stuff. Andrew is setting down truth. The amount of people who believe in a claim says nothing about the truth of a claim. People believe false things all the time. Homeopathy, for instance, has thousands of people who believe it, and anti-vax. There's a lot of people who believe anti-vax. Love Jesus says, Lizzie, is bipolar genetic or environmental or both? What do you think it is for you? It's genetic. It's 100% genetic. But then depending on when it comes out all the way, depends on like environmental factors of stress. Like some people, their bipolar doesn't come out until like their 40s. And then for me, it was like when I was like 18, it was coming out. Andrew, I'm an atheist. Your resurrection arguments don't really convince me, to be honest. Which video did you watch? Jonathan Conneruff, did you run your genetics? No, it would be kind of pointless because they haven't identified which genes cause bipolar. Lizzie, what is your favorite Marian apparition? Obviously, Our Lady of Guadalupe, because I live in California and there's so many Mexicans, Hispanic culture here and at my parish. So I really love it. I read a book on it I just tore off my hair. I read a book on it there's so many sparkles on my fingers right now. Can you guys see? Because I put sparkles all over my face. I put like a bronzer and highlighter just like all over, and it's all glitter so my face would sparkle on camera. Andrew, I watched the one where you went through the eyewitnesses. There's another video I made called, let me find the video and I'll actually put it in the group chat. I'm interested in this now. So, I made 2 videos. I'm wearing like a black top in them. And I made a video called like I Almost Became Atheist, and I will link that video here. Basically, I've been in depression for a long time, and it's called Why I Almost Became Atheist Last Summer. So I'm gonna add it to the group chat. And here we go. And then in that video, let's see if I've linked the other videos. Surprisingly, this isn't clickbait. Here we go. So I'm gonna link all the videos, and it's called Shootings, ISIS, Depression, Processing This, and it's called Losing My Faith in God, Crying, Processing, Shootings, Christina Grimmie, Stanford Rape Victim. Oh my gosh, that was such a sad, dark time in my life. So anyways, those 3 videos are my arguments for the existence of God and the resurrection, so go watch them. LOL, surprisingly, this isn't clickbait. My intense video titles have been going on for a long time. Did you ever light Our Lady of Guadalupe candles? Yes, I have Our Lady of Guadalupe candle, so it's really special to me. Andrew, I saw those. It seems you believe more for emotional reasons. Wow. Jonathan, have you ever had a SPECT scan that can diagnose bipolar disorder? No, I have not. Those are really expensive, and I've already been diagnosed. Like, it's easy to diagnose it with like a therapist or a licensed psychiatrist. So I think that that's so expensive. But if I'd done a scan like that when I was in depression, they could have, it's so cool. They can do a brain scan and tell the difference between regular depression with major depressive disorder and bipolar depression just with doing a brain scan. So I think that's really cool. Jean says, one piece of evidence is that women were the first to see Christ after the resurrection. Women weren't trusted at all during that time. If it was set up, they would have used trusted religious leaders. I love Our Lady of Guadalupe candles. So emotions are not valid? I mean, no. Like, if you're proving if the resurrection happened or not, emotions are not valid. You need evidence. So I agree with the atheist who's in the room right now. Raul says, I meant to check in earlier and I got distracted making soup. What kind of soup were you making that took like an hour and a half to make it? Were you cutting up a lot of vegetables? He's not trolling me. Blue 16 says something really wise. It went away. Okay. My aunt had cancer for a really long time and she died a few days ago. But instead of questioning God, I actually thought he took care of her all the time she was on earth and now she's in heaven. Alioth, would you still become a nun? No, I am discerning marriage. I'm in a really serious relationship. I don't like when people say a serious relationship, because it's not like a serious relationship where it's boring and intense and like serious. It's a fun relationship, you know? It's... Raul, yeah, cutting vegetables. I was kind of kidding with that. What kind of soup are you making though? I'm so curious now. Edwin says, have you attended a service for Our Lady of Guadalupe on December 12th, her day in Mexico? I'll be going this year and I'm thrilled. That's so exciting. I wish I could go too. Could I be a moderator? Yes. Add moderator. Andrew says, I read his book and saw the movie. Are you talking about The Case for Christ? Not convincing at all, to be honest. It actually brought me out of my faith. Chicken soup. What else is in the chicken soup? I was diagnosed with bipolar and they found out, Jonathan is saying this, I actually had a brain injury. SPECT scans are awesome. Wow. So I could have a brain injury? Guys, like the video and thumbs up the video. Let's get it to 100 thumbs up. What is to be done with your body when you die? I ask because Halloween is soon and that makes me think of dead people. Go watch my relics video. Guys, like the video, thumbs up the video. Go watch my relics video I just made. I talk about what happens after we die and our bodies and incorruptibles and what happens to bodies of saints. So we believe in the resurrection of the dead. Gian says, also, another piece of evidence is, how do you explain the thousands of people who witnessed the miracles of Christ? People argue they lied, but that's not realistic possibly. Okay, speaking of this, all of the apostles were brutally murdered, burned, crucified, drowned, killed eaten by wild beasts in the Colosseum. All the apostles died this way. Besides John, he was just sent out to an island to die alone. But all the apostles died like this, even their wives, their children. The interns of these apostles also died in horrific ways. I was just making my last video on relics. I was talking about the apostle John's intern Polycarp and the martyrdom of Polycarp. You can read about it. And he was actually burned, and when he was first burned, the fire, like, it was a miracle, kind of like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, where the fire was like around him but didn't burn him. So then they like killed him with a sword, and they put his body in the fire, and they burned his body in the fire, and then they like rushed in and like took his bones out. So why would you let you and your friends be brutally murdered? Okay, I hear this all the time. Andrew, Lizzie, the amount of people who died for a belief says nothing about the truth of a belief. People die for things they believe are true all the time, and many of them weren't killed for Christianity. So this is the thing. People die for things they believe all the time. People die for lies all the time. Absolutely. The difference is that when it comes to the truths of Christianity, they believed these things. And so it's so many people, hundreds of people, who are all claimed to be eyewitnesses to this event, who are letting themselves be brutally murdered. So yes, people die for lies all the time. People die for things they believe in all the time, but it's hundreds of people who are being brutally murdered for something they believe happened, the resurrection of Jesus and the miracles of Jesus. There's hundreds of people who are attesting to this and who are being willingly murdered for that belief. And so if it's fake, why do they not say that it's fake? And it's hundreds of people who are eyewitnesses. Vincent says, my brother is a veteran. I prayed every day for God to keep him safe, and he did. He came home alive. He almost died but he came back. So don't tell me that God doesn't exist. I know he does. Alioth, I was baptized a Catholic, but I'm going to become Orthodox, but I still respect some Catholics like you. I'm happy you respect me. Love Jesus says, Jesus is in heaven, his body is not on earth. Alyssa says, look up St. John Surthworth. He is an English martyr who was hanged, drowned, and quartered. I'm like covering my eyes and I'm not even seeing anything. I'm very emotionally sensitive to violence, and so like I was editing my relics video and I was reading through Polycarp's martyrdom and I started crying like today when I was reading about that. Raul, did you see the chicken soup? No. Andrew, Lizzie, we don't have any of those eyewitnesses though. We just have claims for eyewitnesses, no actual confirmation. So we have the 4 gospel accounts of eyewitnesses, and in the Gospel of Luke, he says that he interviewed so many other people who were eyewitnesses to the miracles of Jesus. People like Mary, who was an eyewitness to obviously the virgin birth, the angels coming, the shepherds. And so we have 4 people who are eyewitnesses recording the event. And have you watched my video, my like 5 lies atheists believe? Because I talked about in that video all the evidence for here. Wait, I'm gonna wait to see if you have it and then I'm gonna link it. Anna says, how do you make your YouTube videos? Love you and keep making videos. So, oh my gosh, on my Instagram, I actually have, you know how on Instagram you can have like under your bio and profile, you have specific stories that you've shared in different like little circle folders. So I have a whole folder on how I edit my videos and I share the whole process. So go to my Instagram, it's just Lizzie Rizzie, Lizzie, and then Rizzie, Reezay. So yeah, if you go to my YouTube homepage, I have my Instagram there and it's in the like end frame of every single video. Love Jesus, the 4 gospel accounts are cross-references. No, they're written by 4 different people. So Mark is St. Peter's intern. Luke is someone who's around at that time, who was a doctor who was interviewing other people. And then Matthew and John are 2 of the apostles of Jesus. Andrew says John didn't actually write the gospel. Those were attached by a later editor. I don't think you've researched this as well as you think you have. The original manuscripts are anonymous. Absolutely, the original manuscripts are anonymous, and my patron saint Irenaeus records who actually wrote the gospels, which is proof why if you end up becoming Christian in the future, you should absolutely become Catholic Christian. Welcome home in advance. We would love so much if you could become part of our family, but we need Catholic tradition to prove the authorship of the gospels. So we have this oral tradition of who wrote the gospels, and Irenaeus is one of the first people to record who wrote them. And Irenaeus, I say this all the time, I'm so proud of my patron saint, he's epic. So the Apostle John taught Polycarp, who taught Irenaeus. So Irenaeus is 2 steps away from John, and he's saying, okay, my person I'm learning the faith from, Polycarp, knew John and is saying that John wrote the gospel, and John also is saying that Peter's intern Mark wrote the gospel, that Matthew wrote the gospel, and that Luke wrote the gospel. So it's literally 2 steps away. No, he doesn't. LOL. Oral tradition has a long proven history of being faulty and gets more exaggerated over time. So I really like this idea of a telephone game. So if you think of you're in a group and you're like whispering to someone, and then like you go around and there's 10 people, you're in school or you're in Sunday school, even at church we would play the telephone game sometimes if we were bored, and the message gets not translated wrong. But we're not talking about 10 people, we're talking about 1 person. So we're talking about John, Polycarp, Irenaeus. There's not a lot of wiggle room room for a telephone game and confusion to happen. Edwin, one of my cousin's girlfriends from my dad's side had an abortion and my cousin celebrates it and my aunt saw it as disposable. That's so sad. Real historians don't consider the Bible to be an accurate biblical source. I think you mean historical source. My theology professor wrote a book on Irenaeus. What is it called? I need to read it. What's the difference between beatified? Beatified is, I think, once there's been a proven miracle. Beatified is when you know they're in heaven and then they become an official saint. Oh my gosh, Lizzie, it's St. Teresa of Avila's feast day on Tuesday. Oh my gosh, I know you've been reading her lately. I have to go to Mass. Oh my gosh, okay, I'm gonna write down on my note of everything I'm learning from this video. Go to Mass on Tuesday. Live stream. Duolingo, Everlasting Man by G.K. Chesterton. Go to Mass on Tuesday. Saint Teresa of Avila. Oh my gosh, I should go to daily Mass every day this week. That'd be so fun. I should challenge myself. Oh, where is Lizzie? I'm back. Lizzie, I wanted to buy a rosary necklace, but I read that it's not right to wear it like that, even though I wanted it, so I would feel much safer somehow, and I would be closer to Mary. You can wear them as a necklace. Okay, I want to know your guys' thoughts, because some people are like, it's so offensive to wear as a necklace, and then other people wear as a necklace. So, I think, I don't know, is it a cultural thing? Gianna, I think the people here saying they're atheists are trying to understand and explore Christianity, so I'm really happy they're here. Yeah, obviously they're really interested in the faith and are so passionate against it, and they're going to become even more passionate Christians, like St. Paul. He was super against Christianity and murdering them, and then he became the most epic preacher ever, starting the church. You can wear a scapular instead of a rosary. Don't wear it as a necklace, wear the miraculous medal. Yeah. You can wear this to be around Mary. The book is Saint Irenaeus of Lyons, Identifying Christianity by Father John Beher. Okay, I'm gonna look up the book, thank you. Okay, I think the saint has 2 accepted miracles, one happening after they are beatified. I was praying so hard for one of my friends who's sick to be the medical miracle for Saint, who are we talking about? Fulton Sheen. Sophie, hey Lizzie, I'm an atheist, but I've been watching your videos for the past several years to get a better understanding of what Christians believe. I was wondering if you watched any atheist YouTubers. Yes, I watched Jacqueline Glenn. I love her so much. I super want to meet her. I would think of her as like an older sister figure. And then, guys, thumbs up the video. We're almost at 100 likes. We only need 10 more people. And I also watched Mr. Atheist and Blair White. I'm pretty sure she's atheist. She's best friends with Jacqueline Glenn. So I love them. There is a saint who said you can wear a rosary as protection from the devil. I have a miraculous medal I've had since I was very little. Are you single? No, I have a boyfriend named Trevor and I'm in love with him and we're gonna get married, so I'm definitely not single. Sophie says, hey Lizzie, I'm an atheist. Oh, I already read that comment. Ananias, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open to you. Matthew 7:8. Andrew says, do we really want to keep doing this? If the claims already have an implicit empirical basis, do you mean bias? They are prima facie reasonable to accept. If they don't have an implicit empirical basis, an explicit empirical basis, they are not reasonable. Okay, I recommend you looking up, who is this person? Something Zachariah. Do you know who I'm talking about? Like Ravi Zachariah? Ravi Zachariah? Someone will know. He has really, really good arguments and can explain the arguments way better than I can. What is it like to be in love from a Catholic perspective? We get to share the faith together. I think the most beautiful thing is that, so he became Catholic before I did. So in November of 2017, and then I became Catholic in March of 2018. So at his confirmation, I was crying so much, and he received the Eucharist, and I was so happy and so filled with joy that he could receive the Eucharist. It was like the most beautiful thing when we went to Mass together after he was confirmed. We went to Mass 3 times on his confirmation, and you can only receive the Eucharist twice in a day. So yeah, that's like what it's like to be in love in a Catholic relationship. I was so happy, and I was so thanking God before his confirmation that he could receive the Eucharist. So, and I was with him at Mass, and I hadn't gone to confession yet, and this was like a couple months ago when I was visiting, and it was so special because he received the Eucharist and I didn't, and I like remembered back to the times when he was confirmed and I wasn't, and being able to experience him receiving the Eucharist. And then, guys, we only need 6 more likes, and then we get to 100 likes. Thumbs up the video. I'm so excited. You could be one of the 100, okay? I mean, you could be one of the last 10. Obviously, you're one of the 100. That's not very special. Okay, we got one more thumbs up. Let's get to 96 right now. 97? Oh my gosh, guys, thumbs up the video. Let's get it to 100 thumbs up. 99? Oh my gosh, who's gonna be 100? This is so exciting. If you're 102, oh my gosh, let's get the video to 200 thumbs up now. Do you think we can do it? Okay, Manuel says, I have a midterm exam on Monday covering the Reformations, yes, with an S. Multiple reformers and heretics arose during the Middle Ages. Pray for me. Okay, Lizzie, he doesn't want to know about the faith. He's just here to argue with you. That's our evidence. If you don't believe it, great. Move on, my dude. No, never give up on people. That's so sad. People are just, okay, so like, I was really negative against Catholicism, and I would have the same approach as a Protestant towards Catholicism as he has towards Christianity. So the people who are the most passionate atheists and the most like demanding and irritating or anything like that, they're going to become the most passionate Christians, and we have to be nice to him and never leave anyone behind. Like, welcome home in advance. He's probably a future Catholic. We just don't know. Guys, thank you so much for liking the video and thumbsing up the video. Lizzie, why can you only get the Eucharist twice in a day? That's just canon law in the United States. I don't know if it's different in other countries, or I don't know if that's the national thing, but in the US, it's just the rule. My guess is so that it doesn't become like a hedonistic type thing. Alexander says, I understand that. What I mean is, what is the practical difference? Is a beatification in life in heaven different from that of the life of a saint? Beatification is a step to becoming a saint. So it means you're becoming a saint. Gianna says, you've asked this multiple times. How would you describe the Trinity to those who don't understand it? I don't understand the Trinity. I don't know how to explain it. It's mysterious. It's completely mysterious. I know that St. Patrick explained the Trinity with the 3-leaf clover, so maybe research St. Patrick Trinity, and he was evangelizing to the people of Ireland, so maybe he could help us out. I just click. Ravi Zachariah, yeah. Ravi, R-A-V-I. So look up, I challenge you to look up Ravi Zachariah, listen to 3 of his lectures, I challenge you. And then you can send me 3 atheist lectures, and we can learn from each other's perspectives. Robin Spaden says, the video Signs That a Boy Likes You is still one of the best videos from your channel. Very cool. If you guys didn't know, that's one of my viral videos on my channel. It has several million views. If you wanted an interesting atheist YouTuber to add to the list, I highly recommend the ramen trees. I will screenshot the video. I was smiling for my screenshot. Pascal's wager. Cart says, I'm 17, by the way. I'm 25, by the way. Isn't that crazy? I was just 15 years old when I started my channel. I was about to turn 16. I know Ravi Zachariah. He has a radio show and he converted a lot of Muslims to be Christians. Raul says, both my girlfriend and I have Saint Raphael the Archangel as our patron saint. That's so cool to have an angel as your patron saint. I learned that pretty recently. I think that's so fun. Byzantine Catholic for life. Hi, you're back. Sorry I'm being absent. I'm actually reorganizing my movie self. I have no idea why. Adulting is so much fun. I know. I went on a cleaning binge today. I cleaned for like 2 hours. I was just like deep cleaning my bathroom. Even though I cleaned it last week, I just love deep cleaning so much. And I was cleaning like the windowsills and like everywhere in the kitchen and mopping. Oh my gosh, it was so fun. Guys, I've been here for 2 hours, so I think I'm gonna go sort of soon. Andrew Opal says, I've met Ravi Zachariah in person. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Me too. He came to speak at my school. Dude is a liar and a con man. Sucks, but it's true. No historians take him seriously. Alexander, but when you are in heaven, is that a difference between a beatified person and a saint? No, it's the same. They're just in heaven. Victor, are you single? No, Trevor has me. I'm with Trevor. I talk about him so much. YouTubers I see are Blair White, Hunter Avallone, Shoe on Head, to better defend my stance as a traditionalist, corporalist Democrat, okay? Hello from the Catholic Philippines. Hi, Ernesto Rustia. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna go watch this right now. Did you know Bishop Barron, hour-long Catholicism series on John, oh no, it's going away, on John Henry Newman, free and streaming for his canonization tomorrow? Okay, I'm gonna watch that for sure after this. Everybody in heaven is a saint. What are the top 3 books to understanding Catholicism? Ooh, this is a hard one. So, Church History by Eusebius, Christianity and Politics by C.C. Pecknold, and Relics and Miracles by Sergius Bulgakov. Does my confirmation saint have to be my patron saint? I don't know. I know my confirmation saint was my patron saint. I don't know what it's like if you grow up Catholic. You guys know better than I am because I'm brand new to this, so I don't really know what's going on a lot of the time. But yeah, I assume it's the same. I think that the thing is, like, you can ask any saint to pray for you. So, like, my patron saint is Irenaeus, but I have Saint Augustine pray for me a lot because I'm, like, praying for my boyfriend, and Augustine is his patron saint. So I have, like, a really close relationship with Saint Augustine, even though he's not my patron saint. So you can, like, pray to anyone, talk to anyone, you know? The old English word for pray means talk. So when I say pray, I don't mean, like, worship or anything. I just mean talk. So beatification is a man-made concept? Correct. In truth, they're both saints. Correct. It's not like they're, like, transferring from purgatory to heaven. Like, they're in heaven right now. Hi, Lizzie. Hi, Wendy. How do you know who your patron saint is? I chose my patron saint when I was being confirmed. Andrew, if you don't become a professional atheist, you can always become a model. You've got the face for it. Really? I don't think... Can I see? It's so small. Oh, Lizzie, come on. Don't ignore my Pope Innocent the Third question. I genuinely did not see your Pope Innocent the Third question. Do you want to comment it again and I'll try to see it? What? We have filters? Guys, I'm shook right now. I kind of like this filter. Which one do you guys like? It's like, I'm always gonna do this now because I always edit my videos like the lighting. I like this one the best. I like this one and this one. This one, it makes me look like more tan. I think it's cool. Okay, Miss Ahinda Hayuga, what is your patron saint and how are they different from regular saints? I hear the term patron saint a lot, but I never really know what it means. So it means like, do you guys like this filter or not? So it means like having a friend who follows you around and watches over you. So it's someone who like prays for you a lot. So I think that they're like watching your life and they pray for you even when they're not. But they're also someone to model your life over. And yeah, you just ask them to intercede for you a lot. That's basically like, they're like your person. I hate this filter. I highly recommend Mary through the centuries and Jesus through the centuries. Who is your favorite Catholic author? If you have more than one, please share. So I really like Jerome, Augustine, Chrysostom. I like my patron saint, Irenaeus, obviously. This filter sucks. Okay, I'll get rid of the filter. Okay, I also love Fulton Sheen. I like Saint Teresa of Avila. I like this guy named Peter Vandenwagen. He's a professor at Notre Dame. And he's like my favorite philosopher and he's Catholic. And I like C.C. Pecknold a lot. And I like Patrick Coffin. He's a Catholic author. His book is really good. How do I get rid of this? Okay, cool. Catholics do indeed believe in guardian angels. Would you be interested in reading David Bentley Hart's new book on universal salvation? He argued that many early Christians believe in it. Okay, a lot of early Christians were heretics. There were so many heretic groups going on. Like my favorite, Origen is one of my favorite authors, but he's a heretic. I'm pretty convinced Origen had bipolar disorder, just like some of his behaviors and the way people talked about him. Lizzie, do you want to do a live stream debate conversation sometime? Yes, email me. Jonathan, but I want you to know what Lizzie thinks about it. Lizzie, thanks for reading my comments. I love all of your videos. Oh, I love you too. Thank you so much for supporting my channel and being here. Catholics. Miss Hianuda Hayuga, it's Caitlin from your previous live chats. Hi, Caitlin. Are you my friend in real life, Caitlin, or someone else? Newman is going to be a patron saint after tomorrow. How do we convert Hindus? I don't know anything about Hinduism, so I don't know. Can you prove Jesus did not resurrect and is not seated at the right hand of the Lord? What does Trevor wear to work? To walk, to cook? Don't answer if you don't want to. So I'm in a long distance relationship with Trevor, so I don't see him a lot, but he really likes wearing like plaid, like button-up shirts that have different designs on them. So that have like stripes or plaid. But then he like does this thing where for summer he like bunches it up like this and wears it kind of like this, and then he wears like a white t-shirt under it. So like the white t-shirt kind of like pokes here, so it's like more modest if it's like a v-neck type shirt. So come to Brazil, Brazil. I will come to Brazil in my lifetime for sure. I would love to watch a debate with you and Andrew. Yes, I can prove that he doesn't exist. Let's do it. I can have you on my channel. What does Trevor wear to walk and to cook, to sleep and to garden? I don't know what Trevor wears to sleep and to garden. Oh my gosh, Trevor totally gardens. He was like, so he lives in well, he just moved, but he lived in like a giant dorm house for his grad program, and he was actually in charge his last year of like mowing the lawn and doing all the yard work and stuff. So we wore like basketball shirts and a t-shirt. He would be so weirded out if he's with people from his church tonight. John Fisher, yay, you're back! When talking about people who had no idea before the church definitively ruled on them, I prefer to say they believe a heresy, but they were not heretics. Oh, okay. They believed a heresy. I really like that. They believed a heresy. Oh my gosh! This person, okay. So Julia, we were talking before about her and her husband like only have sex, they don't like kiss or make out, and she wishes they would kiss together. And so she said she talked to her husband. I brought up the kissing thing with my husband. I have before, but I decided to try again. He said I am looking to cheat. I cried. He said it's not his problem. Oh my gosh, that's so sad. I'm so sad. Guys, everyone pray for her and her husband's relationship right now, okay? Everyone pray. That's so sad. Are you still in SoCal? Yes, I live in Los Angeles. Your favorite Catholic companies when it comes to shirts and accessories? I love this company called Christian Catholic Shop, and I love Beast for Christ. Canal Fala Esmira says, you are wonderful and also have some fans from Brazil and Portugal. Vincent, I'm going to run around my college calling everyone a heretic just to scare them. No! You can't go around calling people heretics. That's horrible. No. What do you think of the Spanish Inquisition? I do not know that much about the Spanish Inquisition. Hello from Ireland. Hi! I was in Ireland earlier in the year. I love Ireland so much. Protestant is an umbrella term for Christianity that's split from the Catholic Church. Marilia to famoso. I'm bad at Spanish. Is that Spanish or Portuguese? Praying for you, Julia. Julia, I'll eat this bagel in remembrance of you. Amado. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go get some water because I've been streaming for over 2 hours, for like 2 hours and 10 minutes. Could embryos be baptized? I ask because I feel sad for the unborn and I wish to know if they're saved. I know it's sad. I'm glad you guys are answering each other's questions. That's so sweet. Okay, I kind of want to go back to like regular filter now. It feels kind of boring though. We really need this live stream between Lizzie and Andrew. Oh my gosh, should I have him on my channel? I would have to like study to have really good arguments because I haven't had to deal with atheists in so long. Although one of my best friends is agnostic and we are having like a lot of discussions. Like one of the main things I want to talk about is truth and morality. Because you cannot have right and wrong. You can't have absolute truth without a God. So you can have utilitarianism, but utilitarianism fails so strongly. Yay, new series. Please live stream with Andrew. Yes. Oh my gosh, Andrew, are you ready? We're gonna have a debate on my channel. What does everyone want to know what her boyfriend is wearing? No offense, but that's a little creepy. I know, isn't it so weird? I think like Trevor actually has been recognized in public before. Sorry guys, I'm gonna go get water. I don't know if you guys can hear me right now, but I'm just getting water. But he's been recognized in public before, and people follow another glass of water. Okay guys, I have a really funny story. So there's this YouTuber I love called Vegan Gains. It's like a vegan YouTuber who also makes workout videos. Oh my gosh, guys, I forgot to turn off the light. I'm gonna go turn off the light. Anyway, so I watched this YouTuber named Vegan Gains who makes videos, and he was getting demonetized by YouTube a lot. So he uploaded this one video, and he's like, today I'm going to pour a glass of water. Here's my water filter, I'm pouring it into the water. And here's a shot of my buddies. And he was seeing if he would get demonetized or not. You know, I'm a mod on Vegan Gains channel. I talk to Richard every day. Oh, he's like my favorite person. That's so cool. Dude, that's just a couple, Lizzie, if you want to practice, let me know. I was an atheist for a hot minute, so I can help you practice. Mouthwash says, I've been listening for a while, but I can finally comment now because I'm on my computer. Yay! What are your questions for me? What are your thoughts on all the conversation? It's gone. I highly recommend the book, The Moral Landscape by Sam Harris. Mormonism says that God wanted Adam to fall so that evil could exist, so that good could exist. Yeah, they're really confused in their beliefs for sure. Where did this embryo baptism come into the conversation? It's just one person who keeps bringing it up like over and over and over again. And I like addressed it for a second and then like it kept coming. Like why? I think that he's so concerned because of in vitro fertilization. Guys, thumbs up the video. Let's get it to 120 thumbs up. 130 thumbs up. Let's get it to 130 thumbs up. Sam Harris, I love him. We can pray that embryos receive baptism of desire. Let's ask God for that. Okay, that's a really good response. Thank you for settling this discussion. I'm very good at debating when I'm prepared, so hit me up for practice, Lizzie. Guys, so I was actually on the debate team in high school. I did Lincoln Douglas debate. It was really, really fun. Jonathan Jackson says, I was raised Latin Rite and became Melkite several years ago. Many Melkite priests in the USA were raised Latin Rite or Protestant, but are now 100% Melkite. Thanks, Liz, and everyone here. This is a great Saturday night for me. Aw, I'm so happy. Did this turn into a mukbang? No, guys, I'm eating. I'm not eating what? Sorry, guys. I sound like I'm drunk. I promise I'm not drinking alcohol. I'm just manic. I'm drunk on mania. Jonathan, why did you choose Melkite? What is your view on the SSPX? Heretics! Andrew, when you're tired of seeking and still feeling empty, try reading the Bible. Oh my gosh, okay. I challenge you to read the Gospel of Luke, okay? For this debate, read the Gospel of Luke to prepare for the debate, and I'll read anything that you want me to read to prepare for the debate, okay? Gospel of Luke, that's my condition for you coming on my channel and debating me and sharing your ideas with all of my subscribers. Obviously you aren't drinking, you just don't look like the type of person who will do such a thing. I've had alcohol before, I'm 25, I can drink. I obviously have never gotten drunk before. Okay, so I always had this intuition as a Protestant to never get drunk. Like when I became legal, my friends were like, Liz, get drunk with us, like it'll be so fun. And I was like, no, it's against Christianity, but I couldn't point to any Bible verses. But now that I'm Catholic, it is like the teaching magisterium teaches that We're not supposed to get drunk. So yeah. I've been reading Luke. Watching you drink water, how did we get here? I actually don't like drinking. Dudes in the Bible got drunk. St. Paul wrote about it. Oh, St. Paul wrote about it? Why am I this? Okay, I was in depression at the time when I became legal. So maybe I was just like forgot the Bible because my brain was so bad at the time. So maybe I just didn't know the Bible verses to point to. Because if it's that obvious. Sam Harris is wrong. AF. Have you read Not a Fan? Because I never liked that book. Thanks for humoring my bizarre questions and answering. Alexander, you're my favorite person in this chat right now. It's so entertaining because it's just like me talking for over 2 hours now. And so it's really nice to have someone who's actually asking good questions. Thank you for humoring my bizarre questions and answering everyone. I often think of strange things, especially when it's late at night. Have you been to a Steubenville conference? No. Aren't those for high school students? Vincent? Could I be a moderator? Yes, add moderator. Who's your favorite theologian? I already talked about, I really like Jerome and Augustine and Irenaeus and Chrysostom and Aquinas and Saint Teresa of Avila and Fulton Sheen and C.C. Pecknold and Peter Van Wagen and Sergius Bulgakov. I just read his essay for my relics video. I really liked it. But okay guys, I'm really getting into Jerome. He's so intense. He defends a lot of dogmas in a really, he defended the perpetual virginity of Mary really well that I read for a video. And then his relics essay was also really good. So I think that a lot of times we think of heresies or rebuttals against Catholicism as like these huge problems, like, oh my gosh, we're defending the faith, the Protestants, it's like a new thing. But no, when Jerome was alive in the 4th and 5th centuries, they were dealing with the same exact things that we are dealing with today and responding to them. So Jerome is so cool. And oh my gosh, so now it's kind of like, we have to be nice to everyone. I just drank another glass of water. Wow. Now we have to be, I'm gonna go make a snack, guys. I will be right back. So now we have to be like nice to people and stuff. But Jerome was really mean. So he would just like make fun of people. And it was like totally chill to make fun of people at the time. And I think my favorite thing, so in his essay, I was quoting in the video. I should have shared this in the video. It would have been so fun. But so he's like against vigilantius. And vigilantius means like night vigil, like, you know what I mean? And so then throughout the essay, he changes the name and he calls him like Dormanitius or something, which means sleeping. So he's like mocking his name in the essay because he's like so mad and like trashing after him. Maybe I should make a video like the best Jerome things he's ever said. Where in Ireland were you? I was in Cork, Ireland and Middleton area. So kind of in the suburbs for sure. The churches were so beautiful and oh my gosh, I love the people. Like I became so close to this one girl and I wish we went to the same church. Because it's so hard to meet Catholic people who are young, you know? God gave us wine that gladdens the heart of man is a psalm that we pray every Wednesday at Melkite Vespers. That's why I think embryos could be saved. I seriously cannot picture God sending those souls away since they never had the chance to know him. And plus, why would anyone join the Orthodox Church who don't know if they are united? Guys, so I'm gonna go when it's been 1 hour and 50 minutes, okay? 150 minutes. That's not 1 hour and 50 minutes. That's so much more. Do you guys have any final questions for me? I'm getting really like, I just want to stop talking. Like I'm getting so annoyed at my voice because in most conversations, like you ask, I guess you guys are, because I'm asking your questions. So we kind of are talking. But you are not Orthodox. Then obviously... Okay, I think I'm just gonna lay down and then I'll feel better. RIP, my light bulb that broke. Okay, the reason it broke is because I'm so manic and I'm like very impulsive with my body movements and stuff when I'm manic. So yeah, that's why that's happening. Okay. Okay, I'm content now laying down. What is a milk kite? Okay, are you like mocking them? Melkite, Melkit. Milk kite, like milk, like almond milk, like milkite. I've never heard that word before tonight. Have you heard of Byzantine? So it's like a type of Eastern Catholic Church. It's like a rite. There's like the Latin rite, and then there's the Eastern rite. So there's like Melkite, Byzantine. Two manic depressives debating the existence of a spiritual deity should be entertaining. Wait, are you bipolar, Andrew? Oh my gosh, if you're bipolar, then like 1,000% this has to happen. Can we talk about your bipolar too? Are you bipolar 1 or bipolar 2? I meant like 2, like TOO. Lizzie, I chose Melkite because I had converted to the Greek Orthodox and returned to the Catholic Church as a Melkite because it's very similar and it's beautiful so much. I'm doubting Protestantism and I'm interested in converting to the Roman Catholic Church, but my Protestant friends are discouraging me and telling me I'll end up in hell if I convert. I'm so confused and scared now. Oh. No. The Catholic Church is the original church that Jesus founded because Protestants are very much into going by the Bible and we uplift the Bible. We call it sacred scripture. It's so important. It's part of our teaching magisterium. And church documents and church fathers and popes are constantly quoting the Bible, so it's so important. But the Bible is not all that we have. We also have the apostolic tradition because Jesus didn't give us the Bible, he gave us the church. If you and Andrew do a live stream, make a video that announces when it's going to be. I don't want to miss well, it'll be uploaded on my YouTube channel after too, so I'd be surprised if Andrew actually will go through with it, just because I've had people before who have wanted to be like debate me on my channel and then they've backed out like last minute because they don't want to be on camera. So we'll see. I've had atheists make videos about me too. I mean, if it doesn't work out with Trevor, you and Andrew would make a hot couple, just saying. Yeah, that's true, because people who argue and are really passionate about arguing are actually really, like, compatible, you know? Because there's passion there. Anais, I know one day you will just be tired and I told you what to do and your emotions are the only thing I left. Huh. What do you work at? I do YouTube full time, but I recently have been doing this like 10-hour a week campus ministry thing where I like lead Bible studies and do campus ministry stuff. Greetings from Mexico. Hi, Jose. Hi, Mango. God bless you too. Andy, I have a Melkite church near me. You should go. I'm actually going to go to an Eastern Catholic church tomorrow, I decided. Oh, I have to make sure I go to bed at a normal time tonight. Oh, Ananias is praying for Andrew. Everyone pray for Andrew to become a Christian. Maybe in the live stream, he'll be like, I have an announcement. I'm joining RCIA. That'd be so sweet. Yeah, Andrew. Okay, Andrew. So you have to read the Gospel of Luke and go to Mass. Okay, those are like my two conditions. Read the Gospel of Luke, go to Mass. Tomorrow, go to Mass tomorrow. It is 1:30 a.m. and I want to get up at 8. I don't think it's happening. Prayers for Andrew. Do you sleep with makeup? Oh my gosh, yes I do. So I recently found out that makeup remover wipes, the alcohol ages your face, and I'm getting wrinkles. So I stopped removing my makeup and I stopped wearing foundation, liquid foundation. I started wearing powder. And I find that it makes me never break out at all. So right now I have like one pimple. Maybe two. Yeah, so like I don't know why I broke out. Oh, because I was off my medicine for a couple days. It was so scary because I'm trying to think. Because I've been streaming this is the longest I've ever streamed, guys. My mania is taking over. Latin Mass is great. My girlfriend and fam are trad Catholic. Anyways, I couldn't get my prescription in time for my medicine, so I was off my medicine. So it made me break out a few times, but I've been not removing my makeup at all and just going to sleep with my makeup on, and it's been fine. So convince me to take off my makeup. Maronites are awesome. They speak the language of Christ in their liturgy. So beautiful. Is it in Greek? You should visit Byzantine Catholic or Orthodox Divine Liturgy. Okay, Andrew. Yeah. Go to Eastern Catholic Church. And if you can't go to an Eastern Catholic, well, look it up. And if you can't then you can go to a regular Mass. Go to sleep, you're exhausted. Rad trad or regular trad? Okay, guys, I'll go. It's been 151 minutes. I almost said hours. I should do like a manic live stream for 24 hours. I wonder if I could do it. Lizzie, are you currently going through a manic phase? Yes, I'm manic. I ran out of my pain pill. Doctor isn't open until a modal weekend is going to suck. Oh, I'm so sorry, Amy. How are you doing? You said you lost your teeth. Are they gonna give you new teeth or something? Have you been to a dentist to talk about it? Crazy stalker here. Why aren't you a said event? Has anybody been following the Amazonian Synod stuff? Barely. What are your thoughts on Pope Francis and Vatican II? I love Vatican II and I love Pope Francis. One of my closest friends was a Catholic as well, now a self-proclaimed atheist. Monday, Maronites use Aramaic in their liturgy. Oh, that's so beautiful. I love that. Good morning, America, from South Africa with love. I'm only on my way to Mass right now. Oh, that's so cool, because it's the morning where you are. They speak Aramaic, or also called Syriac. Do you live stream more when you're manic? I try to live stream every other video. But I wanted to live stream today because I uploaded a video today. I uploaded my relics video, so I didn't need to live stream because I just uploaded a video like an hour ago from when I started streaming. But obviously, like, I'm more on social media and I want to live stream because I'm manic. So, yeah. Don't do 24-hour live stream. You would literally die. I've been awake for like 72 hours before when I've been manic without sleeping. So, who are the SSPX? When people like Saint Juan Diego and Saint Lucio see visions, is Mary actually there or do they just see her? Okay, so go watch my video on relics and saints, but saints are just as part of the world here as they are on earth. So they're always here. If I go to Mass, then you have to go to an atheist event. Okay, send me an LA atheist event. The Chaldeans do also. They speak Eastern Aramaic, while the Maronites speak Western. I'm a nerd, lol. No, you know so many cool things. Okay, I'm getting new dentures from the accident, but it takes almost 3 months to get them. I've been feeling a lot better, but still have some pain. What are the main things you've been eating? Do you like pedicures? No. Oh my gosh, guys. I preheated the oven. And I'm going to put my toast in the oven. And then I'm going to have a snack. And then I'm going to go get more. I'm actually going to go take my bipolar meds right now. That's a really good idea. Because I'm like not going to be able to sleep tonight because I'm so revved up from talking to you guys. Because it takes so much energy. It actually makes me feel manic when I live stream sometimes. Okay. I will be right back, guys. I'm going to put some bread in the oven. Okay, I'm going to set a timer. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to end the video because it's been a long time and it's getting late and I need to go to church tomorrow. Lizzie, you should read an atheist book chosen by Andrew for the debate. Okay, give me an atheist book to read, Andrew. So Andrew, reach out to me on Twitter, how about? If you can't reach out to me on Twitter, reach out to me on my email, which you could easily find in the video description. Oh, my email. Can you actually just send me on Twitter, please? Okay, guys. We have been here for so long. Please, I need to see that debate. Oh my gosh. Raul, thank you for the donation. Anyone else want to do a donation before going to sleep? Let me know. Lizzie's Answers, I'll be doing a 24-hour Jesus prayer live stream where you just say the Jesus prayer. What is the Jesus prayer? Isn't it really short? Just like over and over again? Where will it be streaming regarding the canonization of Henry? Where is the Bishop Barron thing streaming? Can you guys send me a link to the Bishop Barron thing? Good night, Lizzie. Talk on Twitter soon. Okay, I promise. I love you guys so much. Andrew, don't back out. Yeah, don't back out. Everyone really wants to see this. Okay, I love you guys so much. Thank you for being my friends and my family. I'm gonna go take my medicine and go to sleep. Good night and good morning, everyone. Here's the Bishop Barron episode. Yes, Andrew, we need this. Okay, good night. We want to follow up on Andrew. Love you, Lizzie. Good night. Okay, so let's pray the Jesus prayer together. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner, is the Jesus prayer. Let's pray an Our Father and a Hail Mary and a Glory be. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. O my Jesus, forgive us our sins, save us from the fires of hell, and lead all souls into heaven, especially those most in need of thy mercy. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Okay, what are you saying? And from that day forward, a beautiful couple fell in love. What? I love your nose. Thank you so much. Amen. I hope you guys prayed with me. I love you so much. I will see you in my next video and in my next live stream. Bye.